Disclaimer. This video is educational and informative in nature. Do not contact any of the people mentioned or depicted in this video. Additionally, this video contains discussion of gambling. Do not gamble. I've linked various resources on getting help for gambling addictions below for anyone who needs it. Thank you.
Stop gooning hearts for sale. Gambling addiction help resources. Why is that the second link? Oh god, I love your priorities, man. I gotta say, 99% of gamblers quit before hitting it big. That remains 1% who knows that the only way they don't win is if the rats get rigged it. But if they play the cards just right, they'll make it all back and so much more. The 1% is not out of the rats, so you know, I can't get chasing their money. Jesus Christ! Man, I can't be. No, that has to be satire. What is this? Oh, that's good. This man gets it.
99% of gamblers quit right before they're about to hit it big. That remaining 1% of people all know that the only way they won't win is if the rats rigged it. But if they play their cards just right, they'll make it all back, and so much more. That 1% is none other than the rat exterminator, the conqueror of Kino, the pipe-hitting, loss-chasing, bet-making maniac himself, Boss Man Jack.
No, I lost it all. I'll clean it all up.
Today, I'm going to tell you a story. The story of how a regular kid from Virginia went from a juvenile delinquent to one of the top gambling streamers on Kick. How he turned his life into a living hell, his nice bedroom into filthy squalor, and how he got sent to jail and rehab more times than I can count. Born in 1995 to two parents and a brother, Austin Curtis Peterson was a regular 90s kid. He was into skating, fishing, and other outdoor activities. But underneath the seemingly normal surface, he was a bit of a delinquent. In late 2013, he was charged with a misdemeanor for underage possession of alcohol. This is a pretty common offense and hardly serious since Austin was 18 at the time that this happened, but the only reason it's even worth mentioning is because it was just the first of many instances of Austin finding himself in trouble. In a conversation Austin had with some followers on his Discord after discussing his past experiences with abusing adrenaline shots and salvia, he says this.
Y'all live fucking fight before?
Nah. K2?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay,
they made a documentary about me.
Dude. Oh, I got sick without it. I did it so much I would be sick when I didn't have it. When I told you that I sold my dad's coin collection, like Bill said or whatever, I literally was buying spice with it, dude.
What? You sold your dad's coin collection! That's horrible!
If you didn't pick up on what he said there, he's talking about a substance called spice, or K2, which is a synthetic drug that, according to an avid viewer of his, once caused Austin to have a reaction that made him sleep for a whole week straight. But however bad that was for his health, it was another substance that led Austin to nearly lose his freedom, Xanax. In August of 2014, when he was 19 years old, Austin's addiction got to the point that he became willing to commit crimes in order to fuel his habit. He promptly got together with 3 others and went on a car burgling spree in James City County, getting into over 100 vehicles and stealing things from them.
Bro, I'm too normy for this. What the fuck is happening? What is happening with good kids?
Cameras, power tools, car parts, televisions,
I feel so fortunate to be raised so luckily.
From one of the cars that they targeted.
What is happening in the world?
Despite how extensive these thefts were,
I feel like
very
I'm a
much
fucking
petty
saint
crimes
sometimes.
Of opportunity. They rarely actually broke into the cars they were stealing from, as they aimed primarily for cars left unlocked. It's also worth mentioning that Austin just joined this series of car raids, as his accomplices were already committing them way before he got involved. While Austin's date of offense was listed as August 30th, the thefts were taking place all the way back from late July to early September. Finally,
I feel like me and most of the
2
chat are
months of
fucking
Austin's
saint at
crew
this
running
point. What is
rampant through
happening in the
neighborhoods
world?
of James City County, one man witnessed 2 individuals stealing items from his daughter's car, and after chasing the 2 suspects on foot, he managed to get a partial license plate from the car they sped off in. The police tracked these 2 individuals down and interrogated them, one of them being Austin, who most likely proceeded to give up his co-conspirators, leading to all of them being arrested. And the reason I say that he likely gave up his co-conspirators is because when the police went through Austin's phone, phone, they found that he and his accomplice had taken pictures with not one, but 3 firearms that they had stolen. And Austin had even looked up the prices of the items they'd stolen to see how much he was going to get for them. Yet, somehow, Austin was only charged with felony grand larceny and conspiracy to commit, with his accomplice, Aaron Lee, taking on the charges for the theft of the guns. Unlike 2 of the other people who were arrested in connection to the crimes, Austin was allowed a $4,500 bond, and based on a publicly available court record, he was bailed out within a month of his arrest.
Yeah, his voice does sound like AI.
A little while later, in early October, a 5th man was arrested in connection to the car break-ins after he apparently stole a firearm and started shooting it into the air as he drove off. These guys were making it really easy for the police here. Between eyewitnesses, being caught on security cameras, and whoever was cooperating with the police, none of these guys were getting away with it. As their court case unraveled, the guy who was behind the fencing of the stolen items also pled guilty, which I assume must have increased the pressure on the other guys. In late March of 2015, the aforementioned Aaron Lee, who took on all of the weapons charges, was suddenly hit with even more charges.
This is so
While all of them
exciting.
eventually pled guilty,
How
Austin
can
got
people
5
do
years of
stuff like
probation and
this?
a fine of a little over $3 grand.
Even the thought
Despite
of,
the
like,
articles about his case claiming that he pled
if I ever
guilty
had a
to
thought
felony
about
grand
stuff like
larceny,
this,
if
I
you
would
look at the
think this
court
is such a
records, he only
hassle
pled
to go
guilty
through
4
all of
of the
this.
22
It's
charges
so
he was hit with,
exciting.
and they consisted of
God
misdemeanor
damn.
petty larceny and tampering with a vehicle. Could these records have been filed incorrectly,
What happened to
or
the
is it
gambler?
possible that there was
He
some
did drugs.
arrangement that
He
if
sold
Austin was
guns.
to not violate his parole, his
I don't know,
charges would
man.
be stricken from the record? Regardless of
Shit,
what the
man, I
exact
don't know.
case is, despite people from his community intervening on his behalf to try and get him a lighter ruling from the judge,
For
this
attention,
entire
maybe?
situation left its mark on Austin's psyche.
I hung out with the wrong people, and karma bit me in my ass. Karma bit me so hard in the ass.
I
And
mean, he was a
deserve
kid.
every f***ing bit of it, and I'm still not the same.
But for the years following the situation, he lived a seemingly normal life, even going to school to get a certificate of air conditioning, which, as I understand it, is basically a trade school degree that lets you work as an AC technician. What's interesting is that he
nice.
got this degree from the Piedmont, Virginia Community College, which is the same exact college that
Oh.
Chris Chan went to. This is as good a time as any to remark on the fact
I know
that
about the
there's a
thing that
disproportionate
wherever you
amount
go
of
that's
infamous
like
locals who
commonly
came
like
from Virginia.
connected to
Chris
Christian
Chan,
is
Osman
cursed.
Jack,
I do
Amber
know about
Reed,
that.
Even Boogie and Wings of Redemption are from West Virginia and
Oh
North
my
Carolina,
gosh.
respectively, which are immediately adjacent to Virginia. Maybe it's all the lead they have in their water over there that's making them like that. Maybe it's the nuclear power plant located
didn't
nearest to
know
Lost
about
Man.
that.
By the way, Goochland is an insane name for a town. Who knows?
Goochland?
Maybe Mothman
It
migrated
sounds
east and is now
German.
making the citizens
Deutschland.
of Virginia go insane.
Deutschland.
Regardless, right as it seemed that Austin
Deutschland.
was going to turn his life around for the better, he embarked on a journey that he had no idea would lead him to the lowest point of his life. Through extreme gambling and substance abuse issues, and eventually back to
Oh,
jail.
God.
But how did it all start?
Yeah, Deutschland means Germany. I was thinking that Deutschland meant like it felt
RuneScape,
German to me.
specifically old school RuneScape, or
Oh.
OSRS for short. In January of 2019, he posted to his Instagram page to announce that he just defeated one
Nah,
of the
I don't
game's
want to
bosses.
make up
While a
too
long
much
period of his
medallion.
initial activity
I'm
in the
not,
game is
I'm not into
documented
the freaky
exclusively
shit.
by Austin himself through his Instagram page, it's important to contextualize that one of the most popular features of OSRS is what the players call the Sand Casino, which was a dual arena where players could bet in-game money. The thing about OSRS in-game gold is that while it's technically supposed to be worthless, it was transformed into a de facto digital currency as people often traded it for real money. This is true to the point that in Venezuela, a country that's been chronically ravaged by hyperinflation, some of its citizens have taken to gold farming on OSRS to make a living and have actually found some degree of success doing it. With the value of the in-game gold being established and the fact that there's a place where you
How?
can bet on the outcome of duels, it was easy for people
How do
to
you
put
get
two
money
and
out
two
of
together
game
and start using the
currency?
game as a vehicle for online gambling. Over time,
4.8
OSRS
billion
gambling
in
became a
gold.
phenomenon with the advent of debt streamers, meaning people who stream themselves gambling on the platform and tried to find any way that they could to scrimp and beg their viewers for money so they could keep gambling at the arena. Usually, this meant asking
I'm
for
not into
in-game
feed.
gold loans that they
Yeah,
never actually
you would
paid
say
back,
stuff like
as
that.
whenever they happened to win big, they just ended their stream and logged out of the
It's
game.
like
All the way
CS:GO.
back in
We get
2019,
money out of
there were
CS:GO
already
money
people
too?
asking for Jagex,
Well, I
the
didn't
game's
know
dev
that.
team, to remove the Sand Casino entirely
Don't
to
get
solve
ideas.
the problem. But while Jagex failed to do so, the gamblers continued to make hay out of their negligence.
'Cause the game money is
Unfortunately,
worth
one of
in
the
the
people
countries,
who
man. That's
unknowingly
quite
walked into
sad.
this trap was Austin, who at one point got so invested in the game that he landed himself in a psych ward.
This one time, I got back into RuneScape after not playing for a while. RuneScape's like a drug, dude. I was so high on RuneScape, I stayed up for over 3 days straight, and I was not doing any drugs. I was completely sober. No weed, nothing.
While many people have speculated that he could have been lying in this clip, it's not entirely impossible that he stayed up for 3 days straight because while he wasn't doing any substances, the high that one can get from extreme gambling is such that it can keep someone up for a few days if they really want to. As a matter of fact, casinos have been developed in such a way to specifically desire this outcome, such as pumping more oxygen into the air to keep people energized, making the machines as bright and loud as possible, ensuring the buildings have no windows or clocks so that they lose track of time, making it so that the exit doors are small and located in areas that aren't easy to find. They have a ton of tricks up their sleeve to keep you at the casino, with some reporting that they can go 4 days without sleeping without even drinking coffee. All of it hinges on how much of a compulsive person you are, and given his propensity towards all sorts of addiction, Austin definitely falls into that category. While plenty of his OSRS gambling journey hasn't been documented, bits and pieces of it have survived through the obscurity of the first couple of years of his streaming. One of the oldest archived clips of Austin's stream shows him in his bedroom being gifted billions of in-game gold, which, scuffed on Kick, the Kiwi Farms user who shared it, claimed added up to almost $5,000, which explains his
5,000
reaction.
out of money game?
What? Oh my god! Hold on, I gotta remember your username. Let me write your username down. Show him some love, boy.
Later on in this clip, Austin claims that this money he's getting is going to be what turns it around for his debt, meaning that even this early on, he was already in a significant amount of it. Regardless, he proceeds to use the money given to him to gamble and loses all of it, resulting in one of his earliest crash outs.
The f***ing poison, dude!
According to the same user who shared the clip, this crash out took place just a little while after Austin got back from rehab, which his parents put him in due to his addiction to coke. It's shocking to see that he was already struggling this much with his habits even before he got heavy into gambling. And even more shocking is the fact that he was already drinking alcohol immediately after getting out of rehab, which is really not a good sign. In another user's search for clips from this era of Austin's streams, he stumbled upon some clips that consisted not of OSRS gambling, but IRL streams. In the first he attached, Austin is showing the damage he's done to his bedroom, including a broken mirror and apparently 3 massive holes in his drywall. He explains that he did this damage out of anger from losing in OSRS death matches, and while he explains it to his audience, he can be seen smoking something that doesn't look like a normal cigarette, although I can't show it on screen right now due to rules from the powers that be. Despite acknowledging that he definitely has an issue with anger,
Sometimes I just get this like rage, man. It's anger.
I'll just write Janet, so.
It's not scared of anybody.
he takes the damage to his room in good spirits.
Got the fresh holes in the wall? Dude, I would never do that. That was not me. That was not me, dude. I swear to God it wasn't me.
In another clip, he shines some light on his relationship with his parents, in particular his father, who was later renamed Rat Dad and Boss Man Dad in honor of his son's online activities.
I was sitting there, dude. This is back before my dad used to let me smoke weed in my room. I was sitting there. Sorry, guys. I was sitting there taking a bong rip, and then the door opens, and I look over with the bong in my mouth like this. He looks at me, I look up at him, and I just go.
It's nice to see that he's still on good terms with his parents despite his antics, but you gotta wonder how his folks managed to put up with it. Another interesting pattern of behavior that shows up extremely early is Austin demonstrating how his species expresses excitement, which he named the crab dance.
That's fun, entertaining.
Good enough of a crab dance for you.
Later on, when he gets some winnings, we'll see the crab rise again. But around this time, despite his eccentricities, like eating the occasional dog food, he is much more normal and seems to be able to enjoy his life.
Let me sip my Sarah Brute. Let me get my Serotonin brew. Refresh with a restore.
From reuniting with old friends of his and skating to admitting that he should help his parents out by doing chores at his house, he seems to be in a pretty good place. Some of the clips from this era were recorded while Austin was in rehab, where he gives his audience a glimpse of what his situation was like.
I'm not even doing it for my family trolls. Like, I'm doing it for myself, bro. Like, my parents have been saying for weeks, like, you need to go to rehab. You need to go to rehab. And I'm like, no. Oh, then this last night, bro, I was like, yeah, I need to go. Like, let's go.
Despite sobering up being a choice and not something he was
Hold
forced
on, I
to
didn't
do,
name
he did
some
still
of these
express some
logos.
frustration with rehab.
I'm bored, dude. I'm bored. To be honest, I'm very bored being in here. This is my 4th time.
I have to rename them. I have no names on these.
Time to this very one. So it's like, I've heard it all, man. I just want to get out of here.
It's going good though.
Rehab's going good, brother.
Fortunately, this frustration amounted to little more than boredom, as he was ultimately enjoying his sobriety.
I was looking back at one of my VODs, dude. It was so obvious I was doing coke.
Oh fuck, Metal Wolf, I forgot to complete. I never finished
You
it!
20, my boy. Thank you, Brink. I love you, bro. My boy.
Oh.
I'm about to walk down to the store right now. Goddamn.
Oh my god,
What is
the
a little
AI stream as
concerning,
well.
though, is that even while
I
he was
forgot
still in
about
rehab, he
these.
didn't see his OSRS gambling as a problem and a driver for his other habits, as he actively
No,
planned to get
I
back into
forgot
it as
about
soon as he got
these.
out in order to try and pay off the 30 billion OSRS
Oh,
gold debt
fuck.
that he had incurred.
I haven't had money of my own in like 9 months now.
I might go
So
back
I'm
to
hoping
Fit and
when I get out
Hunger.
of here, dude, I can make some bank and get out of debt, man. That's my goal. I'd love to get out of debt, man. There's really nothing more that I'd like. to get
Everyone
out of
would
debt,
fucking
dude.
want
Yeah,
that,
I'm in
my
rehab,
dude.
Man, I'm in rehab. I've been in here for 29 days, I believe, and I get out tomorrow.
Oh, then
but,
what? A new DLC
we're gonna
dropped.
get back to staking. We're gonna get
I
back
need
to
to
the
go
lit
back
streams.
into
We're gonna
it.
play good music. It's gonna be fun times, guys.
As far as dumb financial decisions go, gambling more to try and get yourself out of gambling debt is up there with buying celebrity cryptocurrency. According to the aforementioned Scuffed on Kick, Austin eventually started crashing
So
out
this
and
part 2
selling
is
off
gonna
his
come out
OSRS
eventually
gold to get
next
back
year.
into his substance abuse habits. But there's not much in the way of clips to show for this claim.
I'm
It's
keeping
only
some
in
of
late
this 'cause I'm gonna go
2021
back to
that
them,
people,
obviously.
namely detractors of Austin's, or as they'll eventually be known, the
And
Rats,
medication
started
as
documenting
well.
his on-stream crash outs,
I'm not going
such
back to
as when he
Darker
cried
Fall.
after losing 650 million gold and immediately ended his stream.
Cinderons, send me to the promised land.
I didn't finish. Not even the base game, I think. Of Rain World.
Oh my God,
oh
no.
god, there's so much stuff I didn't finish.
Man, what the fuck, bro? Are you kidding me?
At this point, Jagex finally started dealing with the massive gambling problem in their game and put a 10 million coin staking cap, which made it so that it was a lot harder to get yourself into massive debt. But of course, Austin, along with other hopeless gamblers, found a way.
I'm so bad at it.
I don't have a
dude.
lot of logos.
I'm in 20-something bill debt, man. All I do every time I go PKing is die. It's so depressing.
I will
bro.
go back to
Man,
Lego
I'm so
Indiana
sad
Jones,
right now,
but
dude.
His investment into OSRS
I need to
was
finish
such
some
that, in one
business
instance, he
streams.
actually
We have a
called for
couple this next
disqualification once he
month.
got killed by another player.
Oh, I lost that one. That is genuinely so cringe. No, disqualification! Wait a second.
I
Hold
don't
on,
have
guys.
some I
That
need
ain't allowed.
logos for
Hold on,
some
just made my
stuff. I
screen
noticed
bigger.
I don't
Hold on.
have them.
That's a disqualification, fam. That's
Fam.
a disqualification, fam.
The slangs are
I don't
fascinating.
care if you're winning like crazy.
No one
Apparently,
likes
what
me
he's getting
using
at here
English
is that
slangs
players are
anymore because you
supposedly
guys
forbidden
teach me
from
them and I
scratching
see
with a
them
claw
coming, but
during
when I
PvP.
use them, they're
And
like,
although
who the
I'm a
fuck is
complete
teaching
layman
her
and
these
know very
slangs?
little about
I wanna
OSRS,
use
he was
slangs
getting
when I
rolled and
talk
smoked
too.
by this
I
other
wanna
guy
be hip
and
and
did
cool
zero
with you
damage on
guys.
him,
Why do you
claw
guys
or
not
no
like me
claw.
using
If you check the
slangs?
comments under this video, you can see that Austin had already developed a reputation as an OSRS debt streamer who frequently crashed out, begged for loans in tears, said that he wanted to die whenever he lost or couldn't get more loans, yelled at his parents, had a following of mostly people who hated him, did drugs on stream, and did something called RWTing.
Hold on, I'm
According to the
getting
RuneScape
some
wiki,
slogos.
RWTing, or routing, is an acronym that means real-world trading, meaning when you exchange
logo.
real-world things for in-game money, which is officially forbidden to prevent exactly the kind of situation that Austin found himself in. As he said in the clip, he was already in 20 billion debt again, and just a month later, that value
There
had
was one
crept up to
moment.
26 billion when people from the OSRS subreddit decided to address him in the thread. According to this post, Austin was deliberately not paying the people who gave him loans, and instead was only sharing his winnings with friends of his that were in a private Discord server, saying, "You know I gotta break the homies off." However, this accusation of him scamming his viewers was hardly surprising to the people familiar with him, and consequently, this went nowhere. Just a month later, despite his claims that he was gonna walk away from his debt and simply stop gambling in the Dune casino, he went right back to it and got himself in 11 billion debt, at which point this happened.
I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do anymore. Here's my debt list currently. How am I supposed to pay all these people back? I don't know, man. I have no clue. I try every day of my life, man. Oh well. I don't want anything.
11 billion.
I want your goddamn loans, man. I want your loans. I need to get out of this debt, man. I need.
So this is RuneScape. So that means 11 billion points? Loan or actual cash? Loan. Because, like, what happens if you don't pay? Do you get banned from the account? Does it actually have repercussion of police involvement? Or is this motherfucker that fucking dumb? It doesn't have repercussion and this dumbass is just going into... Damn. get put on an international hit list. It's a real world's rating, which is against the rule. It's a black market. RuneScape? It's almost 2K USD. Oh my goodness gracious, that's insane. 10K tip? That's a lot of money. Interpol will arrest you. Imagine getting arrested IRL for RuneScape theft. Oh, there's an Animal Crossing villager auction? Wait, I don't know none of this. That's a thing? People actually pay for that? Animal Crossing auction. Characters. Was it with the blonde cat? The business cat? I think I might have known the craze of everyone wanted him on their island. Was it that guy? Yeah, it was him, wasn't it? I think I know now. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. People pay to get no. I thought it was the other cat. It was the oh wait, yeah, her as well during the zone animation. That we all know and love. Yeah. Oh. We all love and know. Good old times. It became that popularized.
Help, man.
When someone in his chat suggested
people
that he
pay
could
for
try killing
PNGs from
in-game
gacha
monsters
games.
to put together the money
I
to
would
pay off his
never
debt,
know.
It just made him angry.
Such a thing?
I'm not gonna pee in the way of 11 bill debt, bro. It'll take me years. Come on, bro. Really?
Never.
Are you serious? You think I can PDM my way out of 11 bill?
This blatant disrespect to a member of his audience who was just making a suggestion once again caught the attention of the OSRS subreddit, which was now fully on board with making fun of Austin for how much of a degenerate gambler he'd become. That he forced himself to gamble more to try and pay off in-game debt, which, by the way, if it wasn't obvious, isn't legally binding and you can just close the game and never play it again.
Yeah, that's what I was
Some of the
thinking.
newcomers to Austin's content became confused as to why anyone in their right mind would loan money to a guy who's publicly known for being in billions worth of debt. But you see, this is the beginning of a cycle that would go on for the rest of Austin's gambling career. The people who give him money often don't want it back. In fact, they want Austin to
I do
lose
like
it
the
all and
ranges. I'm
proceed
gonna
to lose
continue
his
it.
mind along with his money and start screaming and destroying his bedroom. Indirectly,
Oh my
they're just
fucking
paying to be
God.
entertained. And when Austin blocks the people to whom he owes money and
The
calls them all
Tenma who
rats,
shall never
that's
play
just part
gacha
of the
game.
show.
But it's at this point we have to acknowledge
Says me,
core
having a
tenets
gacha
of
game on the
Bossman
schedule.
Jack's
What a
philosophy,
fucking degenerate.
gooning.
I
We
would
have
never be like that
analyzed
guy.
Austin's
I don't
brainwaves
get
to
it.
the point that we are able to synthesize
Actual
all of his
subhuman.
gambling addiction nodes
Puts Limbus
into a
company
serum
on
that
the
will prevent
schedule.
all of you from falling into the gooning ecosystem. The result? The Stop Gooning hat.
The Stop Gooning hat is back on turkeytom.shop, the
What the
latest and
fuck
greatest
is this?
in
Commercial?
anti-gooning technology. This hat will prevent you, your ex-wife, your parents, your children, and all of your friends from walking down, perhaps even gooning down a very, very dark path. Thanks to its impactful design. I recently started wearing this hat myself, and I immediately went from being a loser basement dweller who talks about weird people on the internet to, It's available for a limited time only, so get it right now before it's gone at turkeytom.shop. I repeat,
That's
turkeytom.shop.
crazy.
Now back to the video.
One commenter claimed that Austin's 11 billion debt could be valued at around 8,500 British pounds, which would mean that he got himself in $10,000 worth
Pounds
of
is
debt
a lot.
through RuneScape, of all things. Kind of brilliant,
It's
not
quite
gonna
high.
lie. To act
Pounds
like
and
you're
euro are
owed
quite
loans,
high.
which is an oxymoron, since when you take on a loan, you're the one who owes money. A month later, he can once again be seen going insane on his stream after a loss, as his bedroom continues to deteriorate and a desolate cig hangs from the corner of his mouth.
You have no idea! Oh my god, bro! Alright, boys. Yes, man. We tried, man. Alright, guys. Alright, boys.
At this point, Austin's transformation into a full-fledged lolcow was
I'm
ready
not
to go
getting-
into the next stage,
What's a
as
lolcow?
people were going on his stream and even making donations just so that they could mess with him.
You literally got caught on video selling loans for money to buy coke. And now you're crying that gold isn't real money. And now you don't owe anybody. Well, guess what? My ball sack
Wait, is this
full of
Spanish?
salt. And if you're low
What the
on
fuck is
salt,
it in
you can come the
Spanish?
fuck
I
off.
saw Atelier
Get all the
Lumière.
salt and juices out of that space.
People are man. Obsessed. Rent free.
Literally.
Source of online entertainment,
all
I
day
see.
long. Rent free in these kids' heads.
Although it's hard to tell when exactly he transitioned from pure
I saw that
OSRS
today in my
gambling to
logo.
actual gambling
Was it
sites like
always in
Stake,
Spanish?
in October 2022, Twitch, which was the platform Austin streamed on, began cracking down on gambling streamers of all sorts. And invariably, this eventually would result in Austin being banned. But while that didn't happen, Austin was comfortably ramping up his antics, with some particular emphasis on anti-door violence.
I clicked my food! You can hear me click it! Somebody clip it! I literally clicked, dude!
Uh-huh.
I love how he made it so that he can easily switch the visuals over to this placeholder, but the music and the sounds of him destroying his door continue. It's worth pointing out that at this point, Jagex had once again tried to curb the gambling on their game by removing the Sand Casino altogether and replacing it with something called Emir's Arena. But once again, gamblers found a way to work around it, though it was far from ideal. Based on an explanation given by KF user Doot Skeleton, as the safe confines of the Dust Casino were no longer available to the addicts, they were now resorting to going to high-risk PvP worlds, where PvP was allowed everywhere. Though they could still carry on their gambling activities via duels, you now ran the risk of being killed by another player on the way to a duel and losing everything you had on your character. No gambling involved. In the clip we just saw earlier, the player who killed Austin was deemed very likely to be cheating, which ultimately led to his crash out. But in spite of how unfair this particular PK situation was, people now celebrated whenever Austin suffered a devastating loss. So this was very much a reason to celebrate for the rat community, which had developed to the point of making parody songs.
I don't wanna get a job. I don't wanna get a job. I don't wanna get a job.
Austin's infamy soared to a new high in November 2022 when he was recorded selling loans to someone on Discord.
You need this, chef. Shows a McDonald's employment card.
Unlike his previous misdeeds, this one really caught some momentum on the OSRS subreddit.
Like, you know, you might be joking, but nowadays economy, sometimes a McDonald's shop is not even that bad. Like, it's not even that bad. Like, it kind of pays okay. Sometimes. It's quite respectable.
Now standing at 2,500 upvotes. People immediately
This
deduced
says,
that
yeah.
Austin was doing this to scrape together money for drugs, which, in another thread from 2 months prior, Austin had admitted to doing over Discord. Based on the sheer amount of people acknowledging this situation, it seemed Austin frequently scammed people out of their hard-earned RuneScape gold to buy
Ghost
code in
timeline
real
we
life,
live in.
using his addiction as an excuse not to pay
21
back
is
his
there
debts.
now?
Worse
How
yet
much?
is the fact
When is
that
the
just a
payment?
little
Is it
while
monthly?
before he got caught selling loans, Austin can be
or
heard
weekly?
clearly sniffing something in the middle of a stream. Some people pointed out the irony of him doing this self-destructive act to celebrate winning
my
the
God, he's
equivalent
doing
of a measly
cocaine.
$12 in OSRS, but that's something that seemed to be lost on Austin for the time being. Meanwhile, other people shared their personal
that's
experiences of
interesting.
playing RuneScape while being strung out on a variety of hard drugs. I didn't really expect this to be a common experience, but for whatever reason, some people who play OSRS are the same kind of people who are hopped up on hardcore substances all
How the fuck do you take cocaine while playing RuneScape gambling? That's insane. What the fuck? What the fuck? Do you get the cocaine? Most same RuneScape player. Cocaine.
all day. One person shared their experience on Austin's chat, saying, "The first time I entered the stream, I asked in chat how much amphetamines he uses, and he said, wouldn't you like
no,
to know?"
this is
And
flour.
winked. Then he said, "How else am I supposed to play and stream at the same time?" In general, everyone recognized that Austin had a problem that he clearly did not take seriously, even if it was very funny to watch it go down on stream. But while Austin refused to get help, the community slowly grew accustomed to watching him have meltdown after meltdown, like a continuous car crash that they couldn't resist staring at. By the beginning of 2023, Austin found himself right where he was when he went to rehab.
30 bill debt! 30, not 10, not 5. 30 f***ing bill debt.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do about that?
I like how he blames Jagex and other people for a situation when, at this point, they'd already made it pretty hard to gamble and banned his account multiple times,
What
only
the
for
fuck?
him to find workarounds and beg for one of his viewers' accounts so that he could continue doing
That's
it.
actually
One
a
particularly pathetic
that's
Reddit
insane.
user said that once Jagex succeeded in getting rid of Austin for good, he'd just move on to other gambling platforms and wind up in a deeper kind of misery. And as it turns out, that was right around the corner. As the OSRS community continued to rigorously shun his behavior, including friends of his who had sent thousands of dollars for him to disintegrate during his streams, people pointed out that Austin became a shell of his former self once the Dune Casino was removed, as he drifted further and further into the depths of his gambling addiction. Interestingly enough, this gradual change coincided with his online handle going from Austin_07, his original OSRS username, to what he'd become widely known for, Boss Man Jack, his kick username. In late April, he was possessed by the soul of a dog. And, in a loving father-son bonding moment, he wrestled the rat father. As he slowly moved away from OSRS, he started fishing for a win over at actual gambling sites instead. And not only did his hostile interactions with chat increase, so did his hostile interactions with his bedroom.
No, I lost it all.
You really shouldn't laugh at that. These are people who never refuse to get help and showcase it on the internet, the effects of not getting professional help. But man, is it not mad fucking entertaining to witness some of these moments? But you shouldn't laugh at him. At some point, like half of myself is like witnessing someone's story who I believe doesn't or didn't know when to get help or how to get help professionally. Because you can say like, yeah, but it's expensive and he couldn't afford it. Motherfucker smoked cocaine on the stream. Like, I'm sure he could afford a few like visits to the fucking psychiatrist. But man, is it not more entertaining? Oh.
You can see right as Austin goes haywire, someone in the chat says, yes,
I don't know what's
this is what I
Exposition
wanted to see.
33.
This is what his content became now. The cycle of him making bets, losing,
Is it EDT or EST?
becoming extremely depressed, and saying he's going to delete all of his accounts and end it all, and then coming back like nothing ever happened, and
That's
making
addiction.
fun of anyone who gives him crap for his
They don't
behavior.
perceive they
For
have a
example,
problem most
someone
of the
made
time.
mistake of asking what happened to his door, to which Austin replied,
Your mom. Listen. Your mom's name's Tina, right?
My thoughts on the situation, I'm definitely speaking out of my ass right now, so I could be wrong. It's okay to correct me and be like, no, you dumb fucking folks, shut the fuck up or something, but I get it. People like this are surrounded by people that allow this behavior and consider it, make him consider normal. I do not think, no, I do think he's also in the wrong. He's an adult, he obviously can make decisions, he's a dumbass, he chose to stream this, but he was also surrounded not only by viewers, but also, I believe, maybe his family as well, who allowed this to keep happening. If I stayed with Mama Kitsune and I broke the fucking door, I would get kicked the fuck out immediately, or call the police on me. And after she calmed down maybe a month later, maybe she would send me to a psychiatrist. Because that's mental illness. that's no longer normal. Because that's a form of abuse in itself. And while I'm thinking a bit way too forward, and obviously I don't want that to happen to no one, that's a form of abuse. Like, yeah, he kicks a door. How long will it take to kick the own parent or punch the own parent? That strongly. He cannot control his anger. That is a form of very dangerous man. Jesus Christ, give him a gun, it's over. He cannot control himself and his anger. Man, I'm so shit at the reaction. I can't laugh like you guys at these people. I just feel pitiful. I feel pity towards them. In a way of like, damn, that's what happens when they don't get an attention they deserve in terms of medically.
Tina, I took Tina.
I suck at reactions, cause I just fucking suck.
Right here. Right here, right?
Oh.
So hard from the back that her head went through the door. It went straight through the door, bro. It just went straight through. I was just getting it.
Based on the state of his door throughout his story, you can bet that Tina was seeing a lot of action. One thing he took to frequently doing whenever he lost was pretending he was actually going to delete his streaming account, all while fumbling and taking as long as possible, only to eventually give up and reset to his factory settings, but not without giving his audience some Kino entertainment.
This man's penis is so small. It's inside of his stomach hole. I don't know what I be saying, but I'ma get the whole then I'm about to go down into the hole. I don't know what that means, but they're going.
Unfortunately, the entirety of his door's decay hasn't been comprehensively documented, but in April, it was already fast approaching its demise, as it had developed a cartoonishly Boss Man Jack-shaped hole in it, which Austin claimed was not done in anger.
Is it summertime? EST? PST?
No! You can ask my chat. Dad, stop! Man, shut the fuck... Yo, shut up, man!
Him claiming it wasn't done out of anger, being immediately followed by him flying into a rage and arguing with his parents, is the kind of gold you couldn't even get in RuneScape. Eventually, his entire door was removed and replaced with a blue curtain as a sign of honor of that brave soldier's passing.
What
but
if
of
it
course,
is
the door no longer being there to be receiving the end of Austin's anger just made it so that he directed it towards other parts of his bedroom. In this clip, also from April, we can see Austin speedrun the gambling addiction cycles, and although he tries to resist, he ultimately crashes out and kicks a hole into his wall.
Oh my.
And, like usual, he makes some promises.
You guys are gonna miss me, man. That's all I gotta say, bro. I'm gonna be gone for at least a month, bro. You guys will not see me stream for an entire month.
The fact that he's doing this, of all things, on his birthday, really shows how derelict he's become as a consequence of his need to gamble. I know that this is a man in the throes of a crippling addiction and lashing out at anyone who tries to stop him, but it really is something to see him make increasingly faster bets and repeatedly try to stop streaming, only to come back to bet even more until he's gambling with 15 cents, which he promptly loses.
No, it's always the last one, bro!
Tenma, when she leaves us.
I can't believe it.
That's funny.
It's the one I'm gonna back out on. No, I just lost it all. Oh my god. Alright, good night, guys. Have a good night, everybody. Wow. Good night, man. I'm getting off, dude. I can't believe that this happened. Oh well.
By the way, just so you understand where he's getting all the money that he's gambling here, it's usually a combination of the daily payment that his partnership with a gambling website pays, whatever his followers sent him in donations, which he refers to as juicers, and whatever personal money he saved, which means whatever money his parents gave him.
No, that's horrendous. It's like taking a loan out of a gambling service. I feel like that's on the same part of dangerousness, or even worse than the bank. That's shady as fuck. Oh, Basino, thank you. Thank you.
That he didn't spend already. Soon after this incident, he begins beefing with another member of the chat called Shade, whom he accuses of having scammed on OSRS, leading to the creation of one of his classic catchphrases.
Man, that's nice. Whoa! You scammed 8 bill, you loser! Suck on my ball sack! Yeah, you know what I do with Shade's mom? I take that pussy and I the out of Shade's mom! Oh my god! Holy! Oh my god, that's nuts! Oh my god! I gotta get back in that. Oh my god! Holy! PK skills. Hey, Shade's mom, MILF.
I can't. I fucking can't.
Hell yeah. You know I love it when you fondle my balls and suck me. Yes! 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 I'll see you soon, babe. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my balls are already vibrating. I love you, babe. Bye.
Eventually, the accusation gets flipped on Austin as his past OSRS antics get brought up, which he immediately addresses.
Did you scam yesterday? Don't retaliate with, did you scam your dad? I'm asking if you scammed 8 bill.
As his seething hatred for Shade grows in leaps and bounds, he decides to check how much time he spent watching his streams.
This kid spent a week watching me! Oh my god! This kid has spent a week watching me! How many hours is that? Oh my fucking god! Oh my god, bro!
Thank you!
Oh my god! 6 days and 3 hours! 6 times 24?
144 hours!
Eventually, Austin's attention turned to another viewer named Tata, who got a similar
Tata.
treatment.
Tata! Ladies and gentlemen, today's yearly winner of smallest penis goes to... Tata! Whoa! Whoa! Hell yeah! Dude, you finally won something in your life. You got the smallest penis in the world.
This conflict culminated in Austin making a phone call directly to this follower of his, who apparently had donated money to him multiple times before. Although I can't show how this ended here, because Austin doxed this guy's name by showing his phone on purpose.
Oh my fucking god, that's evil! No, that's actually terrible. Motherfucker, he literally gave you money. That's no decency. No decency. Holy shit is fucked up. No, that's so fucked. No. I thought it was funny, but now it's no longer funny. At least be appreciative of the people that actually help you with your addiction, you dumbass bitch.
Right around the same time he
Why
did
do
this,
people
he
keep
also
donating
doxed
to
his
these
girlfriend,
assholes?
Although this time it was clearly an accident.
When they don't
Later
appreciate
on in the month
them.
of April, Austin expands the list of people he's been beefing with by including his own mom.
That's it.
Mom, shut the f up! Shut the please! Please! You're a idiot, you don't think! God damn, I'm so sorry.
The way
guys,
he
you
got
heard
up
that.
so aggressively
In a comment
scared me
left
for a
under this
bit. He
video,
might go
one
and
user
punch you or
says, if you don't
something.
know the lore, it makes the video so much better.
No.
The original Austin 07 hate Discord catfished him. Austin,
No.
without provocation, sent a video of himself beating his meat and cooming. They sent that video to his mom, dad, and extended family, saying that Austin sent that video to a minor. You can hear in the video Austin's mom saying, "You're a sicko. A minor, Austin. A minor," before he explodes on her. While the video of Austin seems to be real, there's no evidence Austin ever knowingly sent it to a minor. As a matter
Oh
of fact,
my
the
God.
closest thing to a claim that this even happened was a streamable video that claimed Austin got catfished by a female teenager. Regardless of any speculation regarding this incident, KF user Orangutan Wang 11 said, "I talked to the guy who catfished and leaked the video a while ago and
No,
can
this
confirm
is
that the guy
sickening.
catfishing never pretended to be a minor." After it
It's
happened,
going
some
so
random
down
people called
spiral, I
Boss
don't
Man's
like
mom and
this.
dad after sending them the video and said that he was talking to minors.
It's
Shortly
going
after,
so
Mama Rat
badly.
comes on stream to confront him about this, leading to a fit
Now
of
it's no
Boss Man
longer
rage
funny.
towards her, yelling her to shut up, saying the rats are lying, get out of my room. Not sure why these people wanted to see Boss Man's junk in the first place. While it's quite common for lolcows to also be some variety of a sex
It's a bit
pest, this
sickening
really doesn't
though
seem to be
to
the
send
case with
something like
Boss
that
Man,
to even
and
to your
there
own
is no good
parents.
evidence
That's
otherwise.
already
Fortunately,
that's highly
Austin's
mental
blood runs
illness.
ice cold, and his nerves are made of steel, so he's completely immune to any rat activities, which were mounting up during this period, as his detractors even put up a website to catalog his highlights, if that's what they can be called. Around the
Guys, we're like literally 30 minutes in a 5-hour video. What the fuck has this man done? Jesus Christ. We're 30 minutes into this video. What the fuck did he do? Oh, fuck, it gets worse. It make it... Oh, God. What the fuck? Oh my god, it gets worse. It gets worse. Oh, he's done a lot. I don't know. This is the first time I heard about this user. Oh goodness. I'm scared. I might break down if I see violence towards his parents. I don't like seeing people like that. It's quite scary. Oh goodness. That's scary. Jesus. He was in jail! What the fuck? I have no idea who the guy is, but I can't imagine it being worse. How do we tell him? How do I tell you that I think it gets worse? I think it gets worse. Oh, fuck. Oh my goodness gracious. This is terrifying. Oh. Goodness. Regardless, just a bit of a pause, I guess. What do you guys think of the schedule? Good? It's a bit of a break between. I don't want to overlap with the new invaders. I'm not sure if they do it like 3, 4, 5. I put a highlight video maybe in between if that's okay. I'm gonna save it and it's good to go. Yeah. Don't forget today's business. It's gonna be on YouTube though. Usually I would do my business streams on Twitch, but they specifically asked for YouTube. And I'm like, damn, okay. But we finished. We did it. I like your break. Thank you. I like it too. I don't need to make the thumbnails though. Oh, well, aren't you guys lucky? I do need to make the thumbnails. Oh, well. Huh. Unfortunate. More content, I guess?
This time, he even had a Discord call with one of them who was accusing him of hitting his mom and something relating to his ex-girlfriend. And it went about as well as you'd expect it to.
Hold on. I can't tell if you're trying to get your dick sucked, you're trying to get your dick wet, trying to get on Allison's good side. I don't give a f about the anymore. You don't even know what happened. So why are you getting involved? You have a small penis! You have a small penis! You have a small... Definitely would never hit my mom. I'm gonna have my mom come on stream later. She'll tell you guys everything that happened.
Austin's ex-girlfriend herself seems to have colluded with the rats against him, only for him to freestyle the greatest diss track of all time and decimate her from this plane of existence. Austin's only weakness happens to be whenever the casinos cheat him out of his money, which, unfortunately, happens a lot.
Oh my god, I'm in trouble, dude. I'm in so much trouble, dude. Oh my god, I call my mom,
Boss.
dude. She's the only person that'll help me, dude. She's literally the only person that'll help me, bro. This is not happening.
No.
This is not happening.
In late April of 2023, we have one of the most gratuitous exchanges between him and his dad yet.
Do you not realize that you can just quietly say, hey man, what's up? What's wrong now? What's wrong? How about you turn your mask up? Yeah, why did you recently start doing this shit?
This is sad.
I've always done this. Huh?
Does that guy hear him?
I don't understand it. Okay, what's your point?
Does this guy hear him? Is this a gambling site? This is a gambling site, no? It's live. I just look at his face. Look at his disappointed face. I think he heard him. I feel like the amount of shit these people hear, it's more either sadder or juicier than people who do nails. Because the people who do nails know so much tea about everyone. But these guys, I feel like they know so much more. Thank you. Morning, Tenma. It was 9 months since I got here. Time sure flies past. 9 months ago. Can we reach to one year? Thank you. Welcome back always. He has voice chat when he can hear. This is truly sad. I didn't know you can... Because I've never been to a digital online gambling site. Except for like gacha. I guess gacha, does gacha count? I never been to one of these digitally. I actually never been to one of these in person. So I only been to pachinko. I've never been to these. I'm too scared to try these. I'm actually scared to try these more than pachinko. I like pachinko more than that. I used to like pachinko a lot more than this. I never tried these. I don't know.
Wait. Okay.
I feel like pachinko is much more fun. This feels weird.
Swear to God. He acts like one, bro. The only reason I'm here is because my mom, bro. That's all I gotta say. Say what you want, bro. But I've always been this loud, bro. For years. And just recently, once you start...
I feel like people who don't know, that's something I used to do. Never gamble all your money. Now, as in, you know, you win something that's double the amount you gave. Like something like, oh, I gave $100, I made 200. Never go with the mentality of, I can make more than 200. Stop there. Take the money. Leave. Just stop there. You made double. Take the money and leave. Please. It's for your own good. They literally rig these games to make you lose eventually. It's a common known fact. They do that. Just take the money and leave. But the rent is a lot. It might be, but it's for your best interest. Cause this is not good.
Start bitching about it. It doesn't make any sense.
Things were heating up in general in the boss man household, and even after having been drywalled shut,
And then I
his wall
gambled
was
my own
once again
salary. Yeah,
going to
that's the
suffer
thing. They keep on
consequences of
doing that.
Austin's wrath.
How I gambled my whole salary at some point. That's when I stopped.
For a moment there, it seemed like that'd be all for the day, as Austin became distracted and targeted members of the chat and his card dealer. A moment later, Austin manages to secure a win, which made him rediscover his faith.
God, there's a God! There's a God up there!
Is
There's
it?
a God!
Is it?
There's a God!
Is it?
There's a God out there!
Is it?
I'll tell you what!
No, I don't think
Unfortunately,
so.
his hopes were soon dashed, and this was the result.
But is it though?
This roller coaster of emotions and outbursts is exactly what gets people hooked on Boss Man. That and his
Really?
catchphrases such as "F my life, I'm so depressed," "Can anybody help me?" and his never-ending cycle of things that he'll supposedly do with his money.
I feel like that's
such as
like
fixing his
half
door,
of Miami
although this money
viewers. They
inevitably
always
turns
watch me
into
flipping
weed
my
money
shit
or
off
more
at the
gambling
beginning.
losses. More importantly, he
Pretty
eventually
much.
started fixating
Miami
on cashing
viewer
out after
on
a
the
big
first,
win
like,
so
2
that
years.
he could finally buy himself
Be
a Honda
like-
Civic. By the way, that's a fine car,
I'm
but
much
it's
more
by no
chill
means
now,
some
I
kind
feel
of
like. I
distant
still lose
and
my shit, but, like, I don't do it
expensive
as
luxury
much.
supercar. And if he spent
Because
half
I
of
got
the time he
help.
spent gambling working on actually
I'm
making
actually
money from a
fixable.
job, he would have had that car long ago. It just goes to show how broke and out of his mind Boss Man has made himself. To top it all off, whenever you think he's bottomed out,
I'm
you can
getting
bet
an
your bottom dollar
illustration.
that he will
Excuse
find
me
a
for a
way
bit
to
on
dig
Twitter.
even deeper.
I just lost everything. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good
Wow.
day. Wow.
I cannot believe that. Wow.
Have a good day. Oh my goodness
Likewise,
gracious. Have
whenever
a good
he hits a
day.
new low, he'll find a way to make it out of the hole, sometimes with the help of some divine intervention.
Please, Lord, please be with me. Please, Lord, be with me. Please, Lord, be with me, man. Please. Oh my God, yes! Oh my God, yeah!
Hold on,
Oh
I'm
my
saving.
God. I just lost it all.
He lost it all.
Oh well.
However, Austin's financial status swayed due to some bullish investments he made online, and a few things were constants for him, one of them being his unwavering hatred for rats, and honestly at this point, it was kind of justified. Austin undoubtedly did a lot of bad and weird things, but this particular period is marked by his detractors doing things like sending him mountains of packages and harassing his family members all the way to his brother's ex-wife, which is simply unjustified, and of all of Austin's crash outs,
Sometimes
the
it's
ones
like an
over these
occasion,
specific
yeah.
rats are the most understandable. Though the exact placement of it
This
in
is
the Boss
quite
Man
insane.
timeline
I
is
feel like it
difficult
makes
to
it more
establish.
special when
There
I
was
lose
one
my
instance
shit.
during the time when Austin was still on Twitch chat, after calling and texting his parents for months, the people behind his dock sent him a bag of poop in the mail and his mother opened it. In the messages he sent about it, Austin says he doesn't even know if it was real, so it might have just been a prank. Either way, having your middle-aged mom
feel like
open
you
up
would
a
know.
package full of fecal matter, whether from a dog or a human being, is some truly twisted work.
It
As
is.
understandable as him being upset about these things is, it's not so understandable when he starts attacking the decorative characters in the gambling games he plays.
You know you need to stop when the people you love nearby it's getting already harassed.
Most likely, this degree
It's
of rage
already
was
like
brought
a
to us
shame
by
in
Boss
itself.
Man's
That's very
much-needed
shameful.
nose
That's
medicine, as
shameful.
is known to do. While it's hard to
Come
precisely
on.
establish when he was doing it, we can comfortably guess that he was on it more than he was off.
Oh my God, what did I just do?
Oh my God, what did I just do?
Dude, I just lost $2.5 grand tonight, dude.
Finally, after months of unfettered insanity, the rats finally made some progress in their everlasting war against the Boss Man.
Ouch.
Ouch.
This wasn't a total defeat, more of a temporary retreat, as Austin got banned for 3 days on Twitch and sent reeling to his at the time functioning Discord server, and for a brief period, Austin had peace in his life, as he wasn't enslaved to the juicers for a few days. He gave his closest followers a tour of his house, and it turned out to be pretty interesting. Despite looking like he belonged in a crack house, his bedroom looked pretty decent, with the notable exception of his desk, which looked like it had been hit with a trash sandblaster.
So 360 degree, here's a little bookcase.
That's so much cleaner than Asmon Gold. What the fuck?
My screens, my webcam, my mic, my bong, my cigarettes.
Good on you, man.
All that good stuff.
I've seen the horrors. I've seen like
That's definitely
on
not
Twitter
lotion on
stuff
the bed,
like that.
It's not. It's not. I promise.
Otherwise, it was pretty humanizing and even funny to see the boss man share his living situation.
Your room doesn't look too bad. Mine is worse. Dude, my room is big. Look how big my fucking room is, dude. It's a nice size, dude. I got the biggest room in the house.
As he went through the rest of the house,
Must
it was
be
easy to
nice.
see that Austin's family had a pretty nice place, which is even more
Must be
incongruous
nice.
with their son's hellscape bedroom with Swiss cheese walls. Eventually,
I
his
feel
trolls found his
bad.
address and discovered his house was
Aw.
close to $500,000 and was even nicer from the outside. The cost
Oh
to rent
my
this place is
God.
well over $2,000, and Austin lived there rent-free. And if that's not enough, we learn about even more benefits from Austin himself.
No, I said that we get free internet for light for 10 years actually, because they had to put pipes in our yard for our neighbors to get the fiber optic internet. My parents are retired because there's a gas drilling company up at our cabin, which we have 200 some acres on, and they're drilling for natural gas, which they've struck a lot of. And my parents get monthly checks from them.
Not only
must
does he
be
get
nice
free
to be
internet, but his
fortunate to
parents
live
get
a
checks
good
from the
life
gas
and get
company, which
wasted
goes
like
a long
that.
way to
Holy
explain how they can
fuck.
afford their son's eccentric proclivities.
I thought you were going through some hard stuff, or maybe you had a very sad childhood. But this is like very scummy. I thought like, damn, you must be going through some tough shit in life if he's like that. But no, that's no. I'm so sad. I'm upset.
Including but
so
not limited to turning
disappointed.
his bedroom into
What
a
the
easiest
fuck?
ship that has to be reconstructed every month due to him destroying it into the ground with
I'm
rage.
actually
In the
highly
same house tour video,
disappointed.
he admits to being 27 years old and not even contributing to the groceries, meaning he pays for
What?
nothing except for his drugs. I should specify that there's
Not
nothing
even
wrong with
helping.
being
What
this
a-
well
what a
off by
fucking-
itself, but
This is-
squandering that insane degree of
I'm sorry, but if you live with your parents at this age, and you live very nicely, and you are at an age where he's in his late 20s, I think. No, this is laughable. This is literally laughable. Not even contributing to nothing with your parents, your poor fucking parents. This is laughable. This is not. This is so laughable. This would have become my parents and everyone else's parents like gossiping, laughing topic. This is horrendous. This is. I would feel so ashamed. I would feel so ashamed. No. This is so pitiful.
of wealth and comfort by purposely putting yourself in infinite gambling debt and stressing out in your crack shack bedroom while strung out on 3 different hard drugs is really one of the worst paths you can possibly take in this situation. At any point, he could simply walk away from it all and call it a day, but every time he tried, he felt them call out for him. The juicers, the hot streak, the new door, the Honda Civic, and every time he came back, only for it to go
What's
the
up?
exact
We're
same
watching
way
like
every
a fucking
single time.
scum. He might be entertaining, but
As soon
he's
as
so
his 3-day
scummy. I
reprieve
can't.
ended,
I
right back to the
can't.
thresher Austin went. And
What
though
is
there aren't as
happening?
many
What is
notable
happening to
moments during the month of
decency?
June
What is happening
2023,
to
the few we do have
respect?
don't look good.
What is happening to manners? This is just. It's shocking
Soon
to me.
after, he once again teased
It's-
the
it's
rat
shocking to
community with
me.
the possibility of their success by pretending he would delete his Twitch channel. But clearly, this was just done to further humiliate and dominate them, as everyone knew he was about to make a comeback
So
and win
cute.
big. Near the end of the month, he pulls an Invader V.
Watch me lose every day, bro.
Addicts don't have manners. I
They
used
pay
to be
for
an
internet,
addict,
electricity,
alcoholic
utilities,
even.
but they can't support me
I
at
still
all.
had manners to
So
some
sad.
degree.
Or if
I
they
guess
do
I
wanna
wasn't
help
that
me, they want
bad. I don't
interest
know.
money. They accept interest money every time. Anybody that charges me
But I
interest, I don't
couldn't
want
be
to talk to
this-
you ever again. I literally don't want to
This
talk
meant to my
To be fair, you
parents.
can't blame people for trying to turn their donations to Boss Man into an investment, as his invincible hot streak was obviously going to come up soon, and they wanted a piece of it. The documentation of his activities during the middle
I don't know why, but I feel like people who keep donating to this guy, to the bossman, whatever his name is, yeah, bossman, they deserve it. Like, whatever bad thing happens to them, they kind of deserve it. They are enhancing his behaviors. They are allowing this behavior to continue, and they encourage him to continue. Yeah, this is just an enabler. Thank you. Matsureyo. Matsureyo! Did I read it right? Matsure... Zerix, thank you so much, membership. Prime. 감사합니다. Thank you. 고마워요.
Middle of 2023 was mainly carried out by a YouTube channel called OG Clay, with his series Boss Man Jack doing boss things, which ultimately ran for over 100 episodes. To say that the month of July was rough on Boss Man is an understatement.
It is all gone, dude. It's all gone, bro. I just lost $120. Bro.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. Yeah! Another max bonus! Please pay me this time.
Kitty Mama,
Please.
thank you for the raid.
Come on, baby. Come on, cats.
Hi.
Come on, man.
We're watching
God,
the
we got
fold of
one.
this man.
Bro, oh my god, dude.
Thank
Man,
you.
I lied, bro. Man,
Hi.
I'm so done, bro.
How are you tonight, bro?
God.
We're watching this video of this man that how it keeps going worse and worse and down spiraling in his life of gambling. It's a 5-hour video, fam. Jesus Christ, it keeps going worse and we are only almost 1 hour in. This is insane. Holy shit. Thanks for the raid. Hope you had a lovely stream. Appreciate dearly for the raid. Mrs. Kitty Mama. Yeah. Tenma! Hope you guys enjoy getting bricked. I'm making thumbnails for my stream. I just finished the schedule, which is ignore the X's. I was just making this is my schedule for the upcoming week. Today it's gonna be Mahjong Soul a bit later. Technically tomorrow for you, but and then I'm doing my thumbnails for the other ones. Hope you have a lovely stay if you stay, guys. Thank you again, Miss Mama. Miss Kitty Mama. Miss Mama. Anyway, I'm going back. Yeah.
Oh my god, bro! I'm about to quit streaming, bro. I'm not kidding, bro. This has got to come to an end, dude. I'm gonna quit streaming, dude. I'm gonna quit streaming, bro.
It's crazy that
He
even
goes
at his
back to
worst,
it.
he only says that he'll quit streaming, but he never says he's gonna quit gambling. The truth is, he just streams out of mercy for the rats.
You can
since
just
he
call me
knows
Kitty,
they need him more
okay.
than he needs them.
Thank
but
you,
to give
Miss
Austin
Kitty.
some rope here, it seems that he was trying to resist his outbursts, often pacing throughout his room to calm down, and very frequently hitting a vape. Although it's hard to tell how effective this was, given that no matter at what given moment you check into his stream, his room is always in a state of disrepair, and he is fuming. In late July, we got the first ever Boss Man Jack
Horrendous.
doc on YouTube, and although it didn't get a lot of views, it was a signal that Austin was becoming increasingly infamous outside of his usual sphere of detractors. This video had some bad timing, though.
You don't know
since
where
it
this
came out during a
illustration
pretty
came from.
uneventful period, and right before things really kicked into high gear once again. In August 2023, he suffered a gambling loss so devastating
Twitter.
that his webcam
It's
immediately
Chinky.
died for fear of what he might do.
No! Oh my god, dude! What the f? I just lost everything, bro! I lost everything! That's it?
One really entertaining element of this era of Boss Man is that he had a very consistent setup, from the constant 2000s emo and 2010s hip-hop soundtrack playing constantly through his entire streams, to the cycle of reactions he had, and even the games he played. It's one thing to see a
Chinky
guy
makes
lose all his money
interesting
gambling,
illustration.
but
I
it goes
like
to
them.
another level when he's doing it on a game like Rip City with these scuffed-ass shockwave flash animation tier visuals. Imagine watching your life savings go down the drain as you stare at the Solid Snake Cat and the Gangster Rat with 2 cigarettes and a can of knockoff Monster.
What the fuck? Potential. Bump it up? Nah, dude. Hell nah. 20.
You may also notice that his headset is now completely white at the top. That's because Boss Man had completely destroyed it and had to tape it back together so it would stay on his head, which of course didn't last very long.
Oh my god.
I need this.
Is that Terima, maybe?
No!
And I'll admit it, the rats were going really hard in the paint during this period,
Damn,
with
the
one
name of the
troll
community
ridiculing
to
the
be
boss
called
man to the point where it
rats.
pushed him into closing the stream. Eventually, one of them tried to tell Austin that the odds of
He
him
keeps getting
actually
one
making
guide.
money off of gambling was practically zero, but Austin wanted to hear none of it.
Oh, shut up, Vanitize. Why don't you take that advice and go shove it up your ass?
What's even funnier is that immediately after mocking this chatter, he proceeds to win a measly 50 cents and then close out the stream. During this period, he was also regularly blazing through hundreds of dollars in each gambling session due to how much he was getting from his partnership to gamble on the daily. Finally,
my
after months of
gosh.
being relegated to being followed by disorganized rats, the boss man got himself his very own thread on Kiwi Farms, where, at least
Sasuga.
compared to his previous detractors, there were some standards, and people weren't encouraged to actively harass or troll boss man. If anything, people were explicitly told not to engage or interact with Austin in any way, which is definitely the smartest strategy when it comes to following this kind of online personality. What they did do is share as much lore on the boss man as they could find, and there was definitely a lot of it. The same avid follower of Austin who provided information on his substance issues and sleeping for a whole week due to an
about the
adverse
fucking
reaction to
image.
spice made a post in which he pointed
Oh,
out that
God.
in many of his streams, Austin
That
could be
scared
seen
me.
calling someone on his phone whenever he made some money on stake. This someone was identified as a man named Derek, not because boss man ever mentioned him, but because whenever Austin ran out of money
I
and
need
was
some
in drug
images
debt,
for the
he convinced
interval,
one of his
excuse
mods
me.
to cash app Derek whatever it was that he owed him. A stream moderator was screenshotted saying, "I paid that Derek guy so many times for Austin." In leaked Discord screenshots, this same mod can
Will
be
you play
seen
this
claiming
as
that
it?
Austin
I don't
scammed
know.
people
Do I
for gambling
wanna?
money, which could lose Austin his sponsorship with stake. While this is likely to be true, I'm not sure exactly what instance of scamming the mod is referring to here. In a conversation
What's the
between
name
this
of
mod and
Intervalo
Bossman,
list?
Austin can be seen insulting this guy repeatedly and saying he wasn't going to pay him back, which
What's
I'm
the list of
assuming is in reference to
Intervalos?
some money that was cash apped to Derek. Whatever the case may be, this information then led sleuths to try and figure out who this Derek guy was, only to stumble across an NBC article about this same Derek being sentenced to 3 years in prison after
Warp
being found
Express, thank
guilty of
you.
felony child neglect. As lighthearted as most of the Boss Man story is,
Express.
this is a vile reminder of what kind of
Are you still
people
planning
feed
to play
off of
console
others'
this summer?
vices.
Mhm.
With this revelation that Austin was being regularly supplied by Derek, it
That
explains
and
why his
the-
behavior was gradually worsening during this period. After one
Elden Ring
particularly
DLC,
heated exchange with people online,
which I'm very
Boss Man
behind.
storms out of his bedroom to fight his dad. This is pretty dark, since if Austin's dad did
What's
what
the
he was
images?
asking
I'm trying
for
to
here
find
and
the
kicked him
images.
out, it's likely that Austin would become a full-blown junkie and end
Where's
up in
the
a
logo?
gutter
Is there no
somewhere,
logo on this-
completely out
on
of his
this
mind.
canto?
Around the same time, another concerning
No
clip
no
surfaced
logo.
in which Austin can be seen talking to his mother off screen after he woke her up by smashing his keyboard. While it's hard to make out exactly what's being said here, it's been widely speculated to be, "Stop, why are you falling over on purpose?" I'll refrain from suggesting that Austin was physically hurting his own mom here, since it could very well be that she had simply fallen over, but things were definitely becoming more worrisome. Bossman's violent outbursts were increasing in frequency.
Horrendous.
So much money! I just broke my computer screen. I'm a dumbass. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I just did that.
Not only was he destroying his own setup, stake was also showing itself to be even more unfair than initially believed, as every once in a while, Austin lost money even when he won.
Hello? My money. Got my money, please. That did look kind of crazy, bro.
Hold on, I'm getting an illustration.
What? What? That's
Is that
zero.
spoiler? That's the
Better get
first
my
thing
money,
I see
bro.
on Twitter, on Google
go on.
Images. That might be spoiler. It's
What
fine.
happened in this clip is that Austin
It
had
don't
bet
matter
on the
to
green,
me.
0, and black, and despite the roulette ball landing on 0, stake paid out to red, which Austin had
I'm stuck in
precisely
the
no
basement.
bets
Hey,
on.
Tip
Even the
Titch.
dealer was confused, and a manager eventually walked into frame and provided some
back
excuse as
always.
to why they were paying out for red. But ultimately, the reason
I'm
why they
searching
did
for an
that doesn't matter.
illustration.
This is a casino. It's structured to take your money. It shouldn't be super surprising to anyone when they do this kind of shady thing, and they get away with it because gambling addicts like Bossman will keep using their platform regardless. After months of speculation, during an IRL stream, Austin confirmed what many people already believed to be true.
No, dude, I was doing coke, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
What an honest
It's not
man.
funny either. I was bad on it, dude. What makes you relapse? Oh, dude, just boredom, complacency, bad
Oh
moods,
my god,
gambling.
you're
Dude, I'll
fucking
lose- I'll
bored.
lose DMing.
Oh, you fucking jackass. Damn, you must be bored to be this fortunate to live in a fucking nice place and have access to internet and stuff. Be fucking for real. Damn, I'm fucking bored. Might commit a crime. Get the fuck off. Oh my god, you need to be fucking humbled. The only reply to this type of men or people in general who act this way, you need to be humbled so badly. A bit lesson in life by God. If he's watching up there, you need to be so fucking humbled. Somehow.
I'll lose it all DMing, and then they'll be like, you know what, I'm just gonna get high, dude. But 3 days clean, baby. Dude, I have had the worst headaches today. You guys have no idea. And I think it's because I'm withdrawing, bro. I was
Makes
getting
me
high
so
every day for
mad.
like 6 months.
He makes me
Dude,
so
I'll be honest
mad.
with you guys. In a 6-month period, 6-month period, I had 2 days clean off of coke. Dude, it's
good
such
job.
a waste of money, dude. I spent so much money.
3 days clean is
That's
huge.
true, I mean, there's a lot of fentanyl around. And dude, I've definitely gotten high off coke and felt like a different high. Trust me.
Oh
like
God.
Sometimes, not
Is this guy gonna become like 2 months?
Well,
Would
it's
we
good
find out
at
that
least
he died
intends
or
to stop
something?
doing it and has been sober for a few days. He clearly doesn't plan to stop gambling, which he himself admits is a trigger for his addiction. Worse yet is that when trying to explain how bad it is, he only mentions that it cost him a lot of money. Although that is true, the effects on his health and lifespan are obviously more important. But the most likely reason he mentions the money it cost him is because he's imagining how much of that money he could have spent gambling. His
That's
gambling addiction is so
insane.
powerful that it motivates him to stop his other addictions so that he can concentrate on making
I don't
more
know if
bets.
it's
While he did spend
hypocritical
a
of
few
me
days
to
away from
watch since I
streaming
love
while he visited
gambling
some
with
family
gacha,
in
but
Kentucky, sleuths stayed at work. They
it's
found
quite
Austin's
insane for me
Bitcoin
to
address,
see it this
and
way.
like all Bitcoin addresses, it's publicly auditable. And
Oh,
examining
not
it
the
revealed that
Bitcoin,
around
the biggest
$27,000
motherfucking
had gone through that
scam.
address in just a few
Lamau,
months. However
that's
hard a task
deserved.
it was
Oh
to
my
find out
fucking
just how much
God.
money Austin was burning
Imagine
through,
making
there
money
were
out
a
of
few methods
Bitcoin.
of finding out, such as checking his rank on his stake account. At this point, he had shown on stream that he was a Platinum 1 VIP rank and was 90% of the way to Platinum 2, which meant he had wagered close to $500,000. Those are rookie
Nah,
numbers.
fun.
He's got to get those numbers up. And as soon as he came back from Kentucky, he went right back to the steak slaughterhouse to practice his baseball pitch.
Oh my God, I just...
As the losses kept piling on, Austin became increasingly
But
distraught
am I too
and
old for this?
skeptical
I'm
of
too old
steak.
for this.
I just
Jesus
lost 200
fucking
bucks on
Christ.
roulette. It landed red 12 out of 13 times. I went black every time. Just red, 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 black, red, 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 red. And just, it looks so magnetized, man. I'm not even kidding, bro. It looks so scary. I hope I don't lose my sponsorship because I said that, but dude, that looks so weird, bro.
In the same clip, he says he no longer wants to live hundreds of times in a variety of different ways, which I won't include here, but it's safe to say he was not in a good mood. Being fed up with the unfairness of roulette, he started playing blackjack, which inspired him to give up his baseball training and start considering playing football as a quarterback.
This is wrong.
The Tenma with the bat.
It's a shame he was sponsored by Steak. If he was partnered up with Punt, this would have been a lot more on brand. Finally, after months of endless abuse perpetrated on him by gambling websites, he decided to switch up his content and try something different by going on a website called Monkey, which is a kind of Omegle alternative that's popular with the youth. You hop on, connect with some random video chatter from around the world, and have a conversation. While this was better than gambling, it didn't go that much better, as he instantly got into an altercation with someone he was accusing of being a scammer.
A gambling site, they pay me $200 a day.
You ain't
You're gonna get arrested, dude. You're gonna do hard time. You're gonna feel like a dumb.
Monkey.
How you gonna turn my 100 into 1,000, kid?
Because
how?
Feed you.
How? How can you do it?
Think.
You're getting mad because I'm exposed.
What is this? So it's Monkey. So it's like the site itself. It's called Monkey. So this guy, it's like investing. Why is he speaking with not speaking? What is he speaking with like a speech impediment? Do they not get educated? What is that duct tape? Oh my God, it's duct tape on his.
Exposing your little rat ass. Yeah. Look at this motherfucker getting mad.
It's like child roulette. Oh
I did
God.
not mean it like that at all. I did not mean it like that.
A little bit of a gamer moment
Do
there
none
at
of
the
these
end,
guys
but
get,
as he
like, common
reassures us,
normal
he didn't mean it like
education?
that, and I trust him. It's kind of impressive that he's actually capable of spotting someone else being a scammer, given how under the trance of gambling he is. Due to his natural gamer aura, and another instance where he went on Monkey, he happened upon a couple of gentlemen doing a funny gesture with their hands, and not knowing the motivation behind it,
Oh
he
my
joins them.
God.
Put your hand in the air if you like a weirdo. Put your hands in the air if you like weirdo. I'm the man. I'm the Mando.
I'm
my
a
fucking
ball.
god.
Let the court call me Mr. Rondo. You can't even
Oh
sign
my
it.
fucking
Austin
god.
couldn't hear what the guy up front said as he was loudly freestyling over them, but he first hailed a certain German chancellor from the 1930s, and moments after, said the official gamer word.
All right, whatever that was. Thanks for your... Whoa!
As he soared in popularity, he got another video essay made on him, which was met with a better reception than the last one. Sadly, monkey activities ended too soon, and Boss Man went back to gambling, only to lose every last dime he had, and once again, turn to his own audience to beg for juicers.
But I don't know what to put the logo on, not gonna lie.
I have nothing, bro. I have no money, dude.
You know what? I'm not gonna put that thing on.
Hearing this man cry begging over AI remix Tupac is truly something to behold. It's also noteworthy that at this point, he rarely even acknowledged that what he was doing was borrowing, since he had spent so long not paying anyone he took loans from. So he started acting like he was just getting that money and wasn't expected to ever pay it back. His addiction was getting so bad that he went from destroying his computer parts to selling them off to make some extra bucks, and the television that was frequently seen in the background of his streams mysteriously disappeared. Either he pawned it for more gambling and drug money like a full-on junkie, or he destroyed it in one of his loss-fueled rampages. And I'm not sure which one is worse. Another symptom of his self-destructive lifestyle that began showing during this time was his mangled fingernail.
So I just kind of let it grow back in, and now this is what my nail looks like. It's disgusting looking.
Immediately after, he shares a story of his about how he once beat up a good friend of his over an unspecified altercation, and in the process of doing it, broke his ring finger so bad that it permanently leaned to the left. It's also interesting that all of his nails are extremely dirty with stuff under them, like a real fiend. None of these were capable of discouraging him, however, as deep down, Boss Man knew that the ultimate heater was heading his way, and he wasn't going to listen to what a bunch of rats had to say.
You know what? Only losers.
But
bleed.
ew!
I want to be a winner. I'm going big boy.
The only thing he took breaks for was eating his slop, which he did with his mouth open and with the mic on, like a real boss does. As August 2023 came to an end, so did the Boss Man's patience, as he became increasingly volatile, going through the two stages of gamble loss: depression,
Love,
my fucking
life,
god.
dude.
and anger.
My God.
Bro, it keeps going
dude,
worse.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Gotta give him props for
God.
going all the way to the wall before having some kind of self-reflection and stopping himself before putting another hole in it. There was another close call soon after, where he even squares up as he walks toward the wall before
What's like
redirecting
that
himself
skill
into the hallway.
me?
Oh my God, it's all gone.
At this
I'm
point,
not trying
the
to
Rats
generalize,
community
but I
had
feel
reinvented
like...
it.
No, if this man had a girlfriend, I feel like he would beat her up. Like, this type of attitude is not... No, this man is highly violent. No, this is terrifying. This man is legitimately terrifying.
And coalesced into increasingly funny variations of his kick handle. Boss Man cracked,
This is
Lost Man
terrifying.
Jack, Boss Man blacked, Austin is a Jew, so on and so forth. In Kiwi Farms, each Boss Man crash out
He's
and
Jewish?
crab dance was being enshrined into GIF format. It got to a point where it was hard to tell the difference between his trolls and his fans, since even the rat community had started to empathize with Austin and vicariously experience joy whenever he won. Although they definitely experienced even more joy whenever he lost, and blasted through his walls like the Kool-Aid
it's
Man.
harassment.
After holding himself back as much as he possibly could, Austin had to let off some steam when he accurately predicted exactly how a game of blackjack resulting in his loss would go.
She gonna get the
Refraction
H watch.
thingy.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Dude!
This was such a demoralizing moment for Austin that he immediately shut the stream down and started sending messages in the chat saying he was going to delete his channel. He also mentioned that his hand was now bleeding due to his attack on the wall, and this is the very first instance of Austin expressing any degree of self-awareness about the cynical nature of his gambling. As he typed in his chat, "It doesn't matter if I win 100 or 3,000. It's gone the next day. I have a problem, and it needs to end. F my life." After this public breakdown in his kick chat, Austin took to his private Discord server to copy-paste his intention to self-delete hundreds of times. But before anyone could even consider the possibility that he might have
I feel
meant it
like this is
time, he
already
came back
like
to gamble
pity
some
baiting.
more, although he retained the same dejected outlook on it.
At this
for a
point, he
few
doesn't want to
seconds.
do it. He
We're
just
not
wants
losing.
pity points.
Tell me when I ever win on roulette. Tell me. Come on, Red, please, man. Let's go. Come on, Red. Yeah!
And like every other time, this one win made him think the tides were turning and he was headed toward a winning streak, only to wake up to reality.
No way, dude. How the f
Did I just lose it all?
Once again, he went to Discord to vent, saying, LMFAO,
Spoiler
I hate
alerts,
my
there's
life
still 3
and no
hours
one
of the
gives an
video.
F. That was sarcasm, by the way. 0 subs,
It keeps
0
on
health,
going, man.
F
It keeps
my
on
life.
going.
I'm
It
gonna
keeps
quit
on
this.
going.
I'm gonna quit streaming. I'm gonna delete my channels and move on with my life.
I'm gonna
I can't
take an
do this
illustration
anymore. I
for
can't have
Tommy now.
hundreds of people watch me lose
I'm sorry,
every
guys.
single
I keep
day
going
and
on
not lift
Twitter.
a
I
finger
don't
to
say
help
them
me.
all
I'm
at the same
surrounded by
time.
people who want to watch my downfall and not help me
I'm
whatsoever,
sorry.
and that is sad. Last night, I won in Discord, and guess what I did? I gave every single person
The
in my
gift
voice
that keeps
chat
on
over
giving.
$40 a piece. I guess that $40 he claims to have sent to
Yes, one
whatever
moment.
measly amount of people were on his voice chat.
You
makes
keep
up for
saying
the
the worst
dozens,
character,
if
but
not
Olivia is
hundreds of
fucking
people he
broken.
scammed and
I have
never
the
paid
most
back since he
broken
began his
build
gambling
with
career.
Olivia.
By the
It's
way, there's a
insane.
non-zero chance that the $40 he gave to
She's
people
so
was
fucking
actually
broken.
a $40 stake
I remember
code he
I went
got
so
from his
far
sponsor,
in.
meaning he got paid on whatever those people lost
I'm
gambling.
sorry.
Additionally, the sleuths who were closely following Austin's every move alleged
Olivia
that
is
his
so
particularly
broken as a
bad crash
character in
outs
Fear and Hunger.
coincided with whenever he ran out of weed, resulting in him scrambling through his house and digging through his carpet to find leftover nuggets. Despite how bad he was feeling, someone named Lizzo, after the infamously big-boned singer, commented in his chat saying they'd eaten 17 cheeseburgers for lunch, and it instantly improved his mood, as he went on a pretty
How do you
interesting
eat
rant.
17 burgers? How do you eat 17 burgers? That's... No, that would make you ill. 3 burgers even would make you ill. I would get like 2. I think I get it. But like 17? Isn't that already dangerous? At one lunch, that could give you a heart attack. 1 is enough. Like normal burgers, like a little McChicken. Not the big ones, like smaller ones. I usually get 2 of those, like a cheeseburger. Small ones from Macca. You know, the simple ones that they give you at Happy Meal. At Smile Meals. Those one I do get 2 of. To be fair, 1. A normal big one, like giant one. Yeah, I get it. The double chicken. 1 is enough. Even then, I would get like chest pain thinking... When you breathe oxygen and you get chest pains, you think to yourself, damn, that was heavy. That was heavy. That's not good for me. Imagine 17.
I would absolutely devour that, eat it up, get every last little drop. Finger licking good with that Lizzo. Oh my gosh, man, that's one of my dream girls.
Taking a short break from gambling, he gets back on Monkey, and a black transgender person exposes they/themselves huge ding-a-ling on screen, much to Austin's dismay.
It's just all...
I'm going on very dangerous territory with this video. Very dangerous territory with this video. Oh, the topics of this. Yep. The video is off again. I'm sorry, I was looking at illustrations again. 1 second, I'm almost done. I'm saving one illustration for the thing. No, it is definitely. It's not gonna show it. It's gonna be censored. Is
Kids,
it?
bro, I need a person my age. Hello, how you doing? I like your nose ring. That's dope as shit.
Yeah, it's censored. It's okay. I feel like you need to be very, very brave to do Omegle or whatever this was on stream. How do you even have the balls to stream that, knowing full well you're gonna meet so many types of people? Bye, Maltebs. You wake up in 4 hours. I think we're still watching this. It's still 4 hours and a half, Maltebs. You're gonna be I'm gonna still stream by the end of this video. I'm still here, Maltebs. See you in 4 hours. Oh, fuck.
There's a lot to take in here. For one,
Wait! Why was the reaction so delayed? Wait, that was such a delayed video! That took like 10 seconds. That's insane. Oh fuck, that's it.
There's a lot to take in here. For one, I really like how this incident is preceded with Austin saying he wants someone his age, only for a monkey paw's finger to curl and give him someone his age. Should have been more specific. Secondly, it's funny how in his fear and despair, he tries to cover this Black Queen's royal scepter up by putting his hand on his computer monitor, as if that would do anything to keep OBS from showing it to his wide audience. This event traumatized him so much that the next time he got on Monkey, he humbly asked for a wiener-free experience.
No today, please, chat. No monkey, please.
Regardless of his penile PTSD, he doesn't miss a beat and gets right back on top.
What's up, Leonce? Damn, we got the thick ones. Damn. Damn. Oh. Hey. What the f is good, yo? I don't know about you, but I don't like, so I don't like you.
Eventually, he met his match, who started freestyle battling him.
I'm gonna gut the money. Yeah, I get it up.
Let me go. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck. That shit was trash. Look what the f is on your chin. Is that a mustache?
It's not on my chin. It's above my lips, buddy. And yes, it's a mustache. I don't give a f. You smoke on all of that mid-pack. I be smoking Zaza. You smoke on mid-pack.
Imagine if Austin didn't gamble and just did this all day. He could actually develop a regular audience due to how
Yeah, I feel like
entertaining
people
he
would
naturally
watch
is.
that.
Soon after, he decided to enlighten a couple of
You
youths.
can also do well as a stream without like the need of cocaine and other stuff.
Both you motherfuckers look like some. I get the shotgun, go boom! It go boom! Blow your head off! Blow your head off with my double barrel. Look at them little weak little guns. Yeah, I live 400 pounds with my cock. I live 400 with my penis. Have a good one, fellas. Stay in school.
Unfortunately, Monkey Time had to come to an end, and as Austin prepared to make a full-fledged return to gambling, he wisened up and put up some barricades to prevent rat activity.
What the
Namely,
fuck?
he began deleting his VODs whenever he did something crazy and restarting the stream so that no one could clip his insane rage moments. Because of this, one of his crash outs in which he lost all of his money and flung his chair across the room nearly became lost media. But fortunately, people found ways to work around his strategy, and I'm pretty sure that this was the clip they were talking about.
I just lost it all.
Immediately, as he picked up gambling, he became so depressed that he started offering to shave himself bald if someone were to juice him up.
I'll shave my head bald. Will somebody please help me with some money, man?
Oh, fuck off! Go to
In
the
his
fucking
depressed
McDonald's or
stupor,
some
he
shit.
accidentally doxed himself by showing the banned chat phrases on stream, as well as revealing he had banned over 3,000 people from his chat. Soon after, Austin was promptly welcomed in to the Dimensional Merge.
Oh my god.
Barbussy.
If there's one person whose mojo is powerful enough to sustain the Dimensional Merge, it's gotta be Boss Man. Finally,
That's
after disintegrating
insane.
entire economies through his stake account, he finally made about $200, which he celebrated in a very unique way.
$248. Damn, that pussy nice.
It is nice indeed,
Ooh,
but like always,
it's so
it didn't last very
disgusting.
long. This man is simply
So
unable
vulgar.
to stop. In another clip from the same period, he burns through everything
So
he had on his
vulgar.
account on slots, all while saying he was gonna leave if he didn't win.
Actually, I'm only gonna do 10 spins. If I don't get in, I'm leaving.
Digital,
I'll do another 10 to see if I can show you
digital
how to get
print
in.
on the
Do 2 more
internet
spins,
doesn't
I'm
fucking
leaving.
exist for
11,
some
I'm
of these
leaving.
people.
Actually, I'm gonna
Holy
go 11,
shit.
I'm live. 3 more spins, I'm leaving. Alright, I'm leaving, guys. 1 more spin, I'm leaving. 1 more spin. Last spin.
Finally, Austin gave up his gambling career to become a bird. As his shenanigans hiked in intensity, people once
I didn't
again
think
got
you
to
touched this
wondering
video.
how much
It was
money had gone into
recommended.
black
The
hole.
title
And in their
says, like, a
investigations,
professional
they turned up
gambling
with
addict.
something interesting.
And I was
Austin
like,
was gambling
I'm
off
also a
stream,
gambling
and unlike his
addict. And I
usual
look at
routine,
this
he
and I'm
went
like,
through
I'm
a
nothing like
$2,000
this
worth of
man.
winnings, paid all of his debt off, bought
I'm
hundreds
nothing
worth of
like this
drugs,
man.
and kept $1,600 to himself.
keeps on
all of this
going
being
worse.
verifiable by checking his
I'm
crypto
nothing like
address.
this man.
Given he already burned through the rest of his money gambling, but it's interesting that when he's off stream, he can at least make the rational decision of investing some of his money back into his Zaza stash. Once they called
one.
together a total
Hey,
amount based on
I'd
his account
cheat on
status,
100 bits if you
KF
shave
user
yourself
Duke
bald,
Skeleton
though,
concluded
too.
that Boss Man had wagered
Bet.
over
Bet
120,000
you wanna?
times, which amounted to almost
You don't need to give bits, baby.
$2.5 million. Now, despite how absurd these values may seem,
What the
we
fuck
have
is
to
my
keep in
button?
mind that the majority of this money came from and
thank you
immediately
for the
went right
money.
back to the casino. Obviously, it's not as if Boss Man started out sitting on a stack of $2 million and turned it into dust. Despite their overall acknowledgement that Austin wasn't someone to envy or admire, later, he quickly went from being infamous to being sympathized with by his trolls, who were now making endearing memes of him. If he really wanted to, he could really turn his online presence around and bank on how many people were practically fans of his who wanted to see him do well. For a moment there, divine intervention even struck, and Austin was repeatedly being met with session errors whenever he tried to start gambling again. If only he took this as a sign to change.
That's the thing, he was even given a divine intervention, a chance to redeem himself and actually turn it around and turn out like, hey, I was an asshole in the past, I'll change my ways. He'll still have those people with him. I feel like he made a cult following then, at this point in life, which he refused it. It's at a point in life where I think he can't get help anymore. That's insane. Still, I'm a man of my word. Thank you for the pizza.
Change his ways. How
Did I say
different
hi?
things
Thank you
could
to
have been.
Demon.
While Austin
Thank
was
you,
winning, he
Demon.
was happy. Too happy
Welcome back
even.
always.
Oh my god! Mom! Mom! Oh my god! Mom! I just won $1,000!
But, as he always does, he started losing again, and not only did he lose all of the money he made gambling off stream, he also smoked through all the stuff he bought. Which,
Oh
by the
my
way, despite not
fucking
being
god,
too
you
familiar with
dumbass!
the
You got
Zaw,
so
I
much
think should
money!
have
What do you
lasted him a
mean
week or two if he didn't hit it so psychotically. Once again, he crashed out on Discord and his Kick chat, and of course, on stream.
Of course you would fucking stream this on Kick.
Oh my god.
Of course, this is a fucking Kick streamer.
His losing streak
Get the fuck
continued,
out.
and his mood continued to plummet.
This is so sad.
No.
This is so sad, dude.
Oh
I
my
hate my
goodness
life.
gracious,
When I'm
I'm so
down
sad
bad,
on
there is
this.
no one there to help me.
This is so
Eventually, even
depressing.
his keyboard had to pay the piper. A man can become a terrifying beast once he runs out of his Zaza. Sick of only taking his violence, even Austin's
That's a
furniture
wild
eventually
sentence.
started exacting revenge for what he put them through.
No?
Goodness gracious.
I deserve that. I'm being a dickhead.
After embracing this bit
Unless
of
he
karma,
knows,
he
he
decides to
acknowledges
target his
it.
own audience instead, in possibly the most disturbing way imaginable.
You're a vagina, bro. A hairy, old, moldy, blue cheese.
Despite how terribly down bad he was, whenever someone in the chat suggested that Austin go to rehab to recover from all the addictions he was struggling with, he would instantly ban them from chat and Discord, no matter if they were fans of his or even if they were regular juicers. The last straw was when, after years of enduring loyalty, the curtain he'd hanged over the damage he did to his wall gave up the ghost. What's even more saddening is that despite the curtain being Austin's strongest soldier, he barely noticed its demise, carelessly stepping over it twice before someone in chat notified him about it. It's at this moment that we get another inkling of self-awareness from Austin.
It's all
He
gone.
embraced the dark side.
Kind of bro. Oh my.
I don't know exactly when, but he eventually stopped hiding the fact that his real objective, as far as what he would do with his winnings, was nothing more than weed money.
I have nothing, dude. There goes my weed money.
That's
I was just about to
addiction.
pull it out. Can anybody buy me some
That's
weed,
way
man?
too
I'm
many.
getting off, dude.
That's
His
way
need
too
for
many
the Zaw was
addictions
such
in
that he took to
one.
Discord
At
once
least pick
again to
one.
beg
That's
for some money to get his
that's
fix. Once he
that's
got what he needed,
horrendous.
he went right back to
Much more
streaming,
addiction
only to
than one
lose
is
$2,000 in a single night, sending him into tears. Due to his gambling-induced goldfish memory, he forgot about his losses as soon as he started making some back-to-back wins on a game called Keno. At this point, he won so many times in
Keno?
quick succession that he began regressing on an evolutionary scale. But after a sequence of wins and celebratory dances, it was high time for Austin to snap back to reality.
Let's get in the hundo. Here we go. Oh!
As you can see in the beginning of this clip, he had just had his money multiplied by 63, totaling almost $250. But as the man said, he wanted that life-changing money. Unfortunately, the wild boss man's natural prey, the elusive Honda
Snap
Civic,
back
would
to
once again
reality.
escape his filthy talons. Almost immediately
Fear
after this,
and
Austin somehow
hunger
manages to luck out
chill.
once again, which for whatever reason prompts him to lash out at his dad.
Kimchi.
Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh my... No! You stop it! I'm up like thousands of dollars. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, man. Don't kill my buzz.
For context, all of these clips of Austin jumping around and screaming like an ape
I
were
did my
recorded from
thumbnails.
2 to 4 in the morning, which is why his dad is not exactly joyous about his son's escapades. After making it all the way up to $1,500, Austin got a mysterious phone call and had to get off stream. I'm assuming to attend to his nose candy needs. When he returned, he did so in a Discord exclusive stream where he was using a VPN to play on the Rollbit gambling platform, most likely to avoid Stake finding out about it and cutting him off from his partnership. At this point, I'm very happy to announce that the boss man once again avoided the fate that most lolcows meet, degeneracy. Once a member of his server sent a picture of his body pillow, Austin replied, "What has my Discord turned into? That's it. No more Mochimon, no more Starlight Princess for a week. You're grounded." Baseman Jack has struck once again. Eventually, though, the regular stream resumed, but Kino wasn't as kind on Boss Man's wallet this time around, prompting Austin to be not so kind to his chair. After, as if no more Starlight Princess in a single night, sending him into tears. Due to his gambling-induced goldfish memory, he forgot about his losses as soon as he started making some back-to-back wins on a game called Kino. At this point, he won so many times in quick succession that he began regressing on an evolutionary scale.
What do we even do? This is making me so depressed. Do we continue watching this after finishing my schedule?
Let's get in the hundo.
Snap back to reality. It just keeps on going worse and worse, so goddamn.
Here we go. Oh!
As you can see in the beginning of this clip, he had just had his money multiplied by 63, totaling almost $250. But as the man said, he wanted that life-changing money. Unfortunately, the wild boss
kinda
man's
hooked on the
natural prey,
story.
the elusive Honda Civic, would once again escape his filthy talent.
I want a Honda Civic. Is it even worth it? Is the Honda Civic even worth it as a car? Really? You would do this for a Honda Civic? God damn. You must be really desperate. Really? A Honda Civic? Huh. I have one though, so biased. But would you really gamble all your saving for a Honda Civic? I'm thinking more of a, would you really gamble at all for a Honda Civic? That's my mentality at the moment. I don't think it's worth gambling yet.
Almost immediately after
33K
this,
car.
Austin somehow manages to luck out once again.
It's like
which,
a
for
train
whatever
wreck, you
reason,
can't look
prompts him
away.
to
I guess
lash out
fine,
at
I
his
watch
dad.
it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, no, you stop it. I'm up like thousands of dollars. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, man.
Is
Don't kill my buzz.
depressing.
For context, all of these clips of
React
Austin jumping around and
content.
screaming like an ape
That's my
were
title
recorded
at the
from
moment.
2 to 4 in the morning, which is why his dad is not
'Cause
exactly
I'm a bad
joyous
reaction
about
of
his son's
content, I'm
escapades.
sorry.
After making it all the way up to
I am-
$1,500,
I'm a
Austin got
disappointed
mysterious
parent
phone call
watching
and had to
all
get
of
off
this. I'm
stream.
sorry,
I'm assuming
guys.
to attend to his nose
Not be
candy
very
needs. When
entertaining
he
to
returned, he
this.
did so in a Discord exclusive stream where he was using a VPN to play on the Rollbit gambling platform, most likely to avoid Stake finding out about it and cutting him off from his partnership. At this point, I'm very happy to announce that the boss man once again avoided the fate that most lolcows meet. Degeneracy.
I don't know none of these. Maybe except Dr.
Announced
Disrespect.
that the boss man
Does
once
Dr.
again
Disrespect?
avoided the fate that most lolcows meet. Degeneracy.
I know Dr. Disrespect. Who are the others? Is that Drake? Is that Drake? Who's this? Who is this person? Is it? It's just a woman? No clue.
Once a member of
This anime is so mid, man. It's so mid. Like, I'm going on the road of, like, Wemi. Like, this is so mid. You really wasted money on this anime character out of the all fine wives you can find. Really? This one? This is so mid.
his server sent a picture of his body pillow.
How
Austin
dare you,
replied,
Tenma?
"What
It
is my
was
Discord turned
meant."
into? That's it. No more Mochimon, no more Starlight Princess for a week.
You
You're
take that
grounded.
back now.
Baseman Jack has struck once again. Eventually, though, the regular stream resumed, but Kino wasn't as kind on Boss Man's wallet this time around, prompting Austin to be
drink
not
some
so
water.
kind to his chair. After this, he announced he'd be taking
Yeah,
a
but
break
most
from
part of
streaming
her.
and immediately started up another stream right after.
Tenma, when she finishes her YouTube stream, immediately starts her Twitch stream. Tenma, put down the hat so Maemi can pick it back up. That's so Miami code.
As his luck continuously failed to turn,
Oh,
Kino
God.
finally claimed Austin's sanity once and for all.
I am such a moron. Oh my god, dude.
At least he acknowledges it.
Eventually, he comes back to the stream, still having a meltdown, and his priorities are as distorted as ever.
I cannot believe I just lost $300, dude.
Even as he seems to have burst some kind of pipe in his room and injured his hand, the first thing that he thinks about is money. He truly never...
Me on my way to my room to spend all night gaming after being told by my parents that I need to reduce my screens. Beat myself. Oh god. This is horrible. He's even harming himself. That's so abusive. Oh god, this is scary. He's actually very, very scary. Oh, I'm scared. I'm kind of scared of this man's fate. If he has access to weapons or guns, it's over. It's over. It's dangerous. Oh, I'm scared. During the rest of 4 hours, will we witness some shooting? Because this man is terrifying.
Stops thinking about the grind. As
I hope
devastating
not.
as this particular crash out was,
Okay.
make no mistake, this changed absolutely nothing. As soon as Austin managed to close out the stream, he went on Discord to announce that
Stay stroke, my dear.
Stake had dropped him for playing in another casino, and that he was now looking to be sponsored by multiple companies at once. Eventually,
God damn, my mom can't even catch a break when... So Stake is the gambling company, from my understanding, man, that supports, that pays him. The fucking company dropped him because he's like some sort of like thirsting like whore, like he can't stop himself. He's going to the next best thing, goddamn, while still under contract. That's insane. That's fucking insane.
Rollbit expressed interest in sponsoring him,
God
although they
damn.
requested that he fix up the holes in his wall before they
Rollbit.
partnered, which he dealt with by putting a big shirt over it. Once he secured the Rollbit deal, he proceeded to call his dealer while on stream to order some more nugs of the za, only to have to cancel his order because he was actively gambling his weed money on roulette while he ordered. This man has
Oh
achieved
my
levels
God.
of dopamine dysfunction I have never ever seen before. His situation was so bad that paranormal entities started appearing on his stream to try and intervene, to no avail.
Number 15, Gambling Ghost. Just when you think you've seen it all, you find a ghost in the background of a gambling stream. Kick streamer boss.
No!
Bossman Jack is sitting there gambling away his life savings, and there's just an apparition, and it's just standing there menacingly.
Fuck, I'm gonna lose it. The ghost of Gamba has come to tell you you went too far. You gotta chill, bro. Oh fuck, that is a thing.
Finally, Bossman's plan was coming to fruition, as after Rollbit, he was sponsored by another company called Chanced, which was allegedly connected to the OSRS community through the Chinese parent company that was claimed to run them, RuneBet.
Oh, God.
RuneBet itself is so shady that it's actually hard to get information about them on the internet. Regardless of the nature of their business, Austin was not a big fan of their sponsorship, as they only allowed for a $3 max bet on Kino. And we all know our boy liked to roll big,
Oh,
hiking his bets
God.
up to the hundreds sometimes when he felt particularly comfortable. For context, Kino was one of the games where the house edge is one of the greatest, right up there with slots. So for it to be one of his favorite go-to games just highlights how risky the bets he was making truly were. To prevent fermenting rat activity, Austin spends a little while streaming on Discord, but despite this extra caution, it does nothing to prevent him from crashing out as usual. First, he began talking about how Stake was rigged, as it stopped hitting once he lost his partnership. This
Oh my god, he even does like Discord stream. My mom can't stop. He's insane. Oh my gosh, he's... Whoa. This is literally like... This is dangerous. This feels like a too mad situation. Addiction on drugs, but instead of being autistic, he's like full on insane. I don't think he has the artistic capability as Da Vinci or Van Gogh, but I do feel like he has other issues mentally. But god damn, the power of Tuma, Jesus Christ.
This is stupid in two different ways. First off, of course it's rigged. All casino activity involves some degree of rigging in favor of the people who run the casino. The way the casino makes money is not by everyone winning. It's by everyone
Instead of
thinking they can
Overwatch,
win,
it's
but
Gamba,
losing.
yeah.
Secondly, he is once again admitting in writing to be using Discord streams to break the exclusivity terms of his partnership contracts. It's even funnier when you realize that this meltdown happened because he lost $15 on Stake's website when he has lost so much more than $15 over the course of his partnership with Stake. After some thorough self-deletion considerations, he starts acting like his Discord followers owed him money for the giveaways he did a few.
No, that's just what is no, this community that supports him financially as well has to be just as brain fried as he is. I can't explain. Like, you just sign yourself to be in a toxic relationship without actually being in a relationship with him. Like, this is insane. Oh, why would you choose to be here with this guy in his community treated this way?
Weeks back. I don't even have to explain how insane this is, but what's even more insane is that immediately after claiming he was done with gambling and going to get a regular job, and that he needed to treat his parents better, he replied to someone who asked him a simple question, saying, "I'll see your mom tomorrow, or actually tonight after I bang her." God damn, that pee is nice. Eventually, he regained some degree of calm and did another house tour, going as far as to show off his father's guns, which I don't think either of his parents would agree to, given how privacy violating
they do
it
have
is
guns.
to have the entire inside of your house shown to strangers on the
Yikes.
internet. The period where Austin wasn't partnered with Stake was punctuated by short, extremely stressful streams that ended in Austin almost immediately losing all of his money within minutes of starting, at which point he'd quit, rage off stream, and come back later just to do the same thing all over again. Not exactly fun. Despite how terribly down bad he was, he somehow still had regular juicers sending him a couple bucks to gamble away.
I'm sorry. I just want to say that's a very nice car.
And come back later just to do the same thing all over again. Not exactly fun.
I like this color, like dark red, cherry color. I like this. That's a nice car color. Sorry, my bad. Okay, let's continue.
Despite how terribly down bad he was, he somehow still had regular juicers sending him a couple bucks to gamble away.
Wine
and these people were all frequently,
red.
if not more screwed up than he was. There was Wolfie, an avid redditor into anime gore, femboys, lollies, and not safe for work 3D animations. There was Adrian, also known as Please Not Me, yes, that kind of nodding, who was into not safe for work 3D animations, but ones that involve women and dogs or
men would do anything but to go to therapy.
mothers and their sons, if you understand what I mean. This guy is so depraved, he even lusted after giant spiders, however that works. Lastly, there was Bill Smith, former friend of the boss man who fell out with him after he stopped providing more juicers, who had an account on Friend Finder, a hookup website, and his only friend there is Mr. Lot 56. Regardless of how you or I feel about these people, there are definitely people who Boss Man not only would, but has outright shunned. And despite that, they continued giving him juicers for quite some time. It's somehow easier to understand throwing your money at OnlyFans girls than dishing out 20s by the bundle.
Juicers, just so I understand. I know I'm late. I'm late 1 hour in the context of this, but juicers means like money, no? That's what it means in this context, because I'm so stupid. People are giving money so they can gamble. That's insane. Like giving money to a VTuber. Hey! My juicers.
so that an insane crack-addled gambler can dust it in 4
Oh,
minutes
let's
and
go
then complain that you
gambling.
haven't given him more money. But to each their own. Finally, the cursed month of September 2023 came to an end, and October started out a lot better for Boss Man, who was
Look how he
IRL
fixed
streaming
his
on Discord
walls.
and giving his followers some tutorials. Namely, he taught them beat by beat how to smoke some top-notch Ronald
Oh
Reagan rock.
no.
Derek is like a big plug. He doesn't deal with a lot of people, but he has people that sell.
No.
And, yeah, buy bulk from him. Yeah, he definitely.
What if those are kids? Oh.
Yeah. He's done more than half his life.
That's
Granted, he was
insane.
showing this to other adults who can make their own decisions,
I guess
but it's
the
really
adults,
funny that
okay.
he started it by saying no one should do it, only to start explaining and showing exactly how to do it. While I obviously can't show any of his elusive meal prep on stream, we get this one endearing moment of honesty before he finishes up.
Did you see that?
A little bit. The Twitch.
I'm looking like a straight crackhead, bro.
Yeah.
Because I am.
Because you are,
He
yeah.
also explicitly
This is
names
honest.
Derek as the person that provides him with his materials,
Oh my
adding that he
God.
sells in bulk to other dealers and
He
is gang
knows.
affiliated,
He's
specifically a member
conscient.
of the Bloods. I'd say
I would say like that's a funny frame to stop at. I would say like I would think like at some point in life like he's so mentally deranged his brain is fried. But no. He's still conscious. He still knows his actions has consequences. This is a man who does this out of own volition. This is insane to me to witness. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked, man.
here that it's deranged how much information about criminal activity Austin is willing to
Do you
offer
think you
people
will
on
learn?
his Discord server, but it's even more impressive that Derek let Austin know about pretty much his entire operation and doesn't seem bothered by him sharing it online. After
don't
getting
think
himself
so.
as zonked as possible, Bossman decided to start up a proper stream after a few
He
days
needs to
of
be in a
absence.
padded
By the
room.
way, this is what his setup looks like at this point. He's
No, he's going down the Asmongold route. What the fuck? Oh god, this is so filthy. Oh, picking a broom. It's literally free, man. It's free, man. Oh god, you have so much energy kicking doors and punching walls. Use your anger to just pick up a broom and clean. It's actually not even that bad. It's quite relaxing once you get into the rhythm of it. You put some music on your phone and you're in your own world of cleaning. It's quite relaxing. I swear, you will feel so much better.
started his stream off by showing his audience his pipe before proceeding to climb up to over $800 and then plummet back to nothing in the span of 10
Oh,
minutes,
God.
which was
10
cataloged
minutes?
through his Discord messages, which went from heart emojis to F my life. A day later, he got up to nearly $1,400, only to once again disintegrate it in 10 minutes, concluding in him claiming he might do something stupid. He doesn't need to worry about that. He's already doing something stupid, or at least that's what a rat would say. Of course, I do understand
my
the Warren
gosh.
Buffett-like investing strategies of the boss man. Eventually, his losing streak led him to abruptly
you're
attack his
having a nice
bedroom
night. Thank
after
you,
a
Joe.
prolonged peace treaty.
Last one, guys. I swear to God, I'm leaving.
You as well, if it's night.
Because he disliked the chanced sponsor, he often put up the BRB screen while he secretly went over to Stake to play on Kino, which in turn led to him coming back from the BRB just to announce to his audience that he had lost all of his money off stream. Then
Oh
he
my
did the
fucking
classic
God.
scamfluencer tactic of going to his audience and literally saying, if every one of my followers gave me $1, the only difference between this crash out and the 100 other ones is that this time around, he actually acted on one of his promises. He
I would
deleted
feel
his
so
Discord
ashamed
server.
of
As far
myself.
as his
There's no
promise to quit
shame. There's
everything
no
and get a real
shame.
job, yeah, that one he didn't really follow through on. A couple of days later, he was right back where he started.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! No way, dude!
Due to how poorly his partnership with Chanced was going, they cut his pay in half, and soon after, he announced that he lost his partnership with them altogether,
You know,
which he
fucking
didn't really
shit.
mourn since he hated their
Any
website
suggestion
and
for
wanted to go
lunch?
back to his beloved Kino. The break in his relationship with Chanced happened due to
Chicken
Austin
pasta?
allegedly not getting a
Chicken
redeposit
Alfredo.
of $1,000 he'd won on slots,
I would love
prompting
a
him to
chicken
go live
Alfredo
and give
pasta,
his
in my
audience a
opinion.
prolonged rant about why their site was awful and unfair, all while he played Stakes Kino. While he is completely delusional about gambling in general, you could see a tangible improvement in his mood as soon as he returned a steak, which was sent into the stratosphere once he hit a big $500 win.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Bro! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Before he even withdrew any of it, he immediately picked up his phone and started calling up his dealer.
Oh
my god. Oh fuck, that's... Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes, 1 ounce of your finest kush, sir. 1 ounce of your finest kush, 2 ounces.
Over the course of 4 different started and abruptly ended streams, he lost all the money, leading him to stop for the day. After this sad ending to a roller coaster ride of relentless spins, Austin decided that it was time to stop playing around and put up the hottest heater the rats had ever laid eyes on. A couple of days after his embarrassing loss when returning to Kino, the boss man started out fresh with a $200 deposit. Within 2 minutes, he hit a 13x and climbed up to almost $900.
Oh,
nice! Woo! Who believed in the climb?
Bye-bye,
Give yourself
Enjoy
a
the
pat
precious
on the
love. Thank you.
back.
At this point, the rats were already trembling, in fear of the crack-addled behemoth of Central Virginia turning his life
Actually,
around.
that's a good title
Seconds
name.
later, he went up
This
to
is
$1
the
grand,
pressing
and then to nearly $1,300,
react
as the rate of
slope.
deaths by heart attack in rodents went up precipitously. 3 minutes into his Kino carnage, Austin decided to go big or go home, and raised his bet amount to a whopping $150.
Dude, we're gonna go for the Hail Mary.
No,
Everybody,
don't
please
do it.
wish me luck.
No.
Hail Mary 150. Oh my god. Hail Mary. Oh, touchdown.
At this point, pest control services worldwide were being ran out of business due to rats acking themselves en masse. Feeling the heat,
Check it out,
Austin
check it out
decided
now.
to double down.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh
2.4K. Check it out, check it out.
For a brief moment, after turning his $200 deposit into nearly $2.5 grand, Austin considered withdrawing. He considered pulling out, but he immediately sensed that his streak was too smoldering hot to cut short. He proceeded to burn himself.
Let's go goblin.
Himself down to $1 grand and some change, only to come back up to $2,500, all the while mocking his detractors in the chat, telling him to stop while he was ahead.
Stop it.
Oh my god, 3 grand. 3 grand.
No. Oh, yes, 3K.
It's
Oh,
really
that's
funny
good.
how
That's
he
good.
repeatedly said he'd leave at 2,000, and
Check it out, check it out, check it out. That's fantastic. That's great. You got divine intervention for a second chance to check it out. Divine intervention has been on your side. Check it out. Jesus Christ.
despite going past it 3 times, both in the upward and in the downward trajectory, he acts like he's holding himself to some standard.
Yeah, I needed that.
2.4K.
I said I'd leave at 2K. I had to keep my word. I like to keep my word always. I try.
It was at 3K originally,
he lost and
dumbass.
got back down to 2K.
Oh
and
my
this was
God.
his reaction.
No.
What do you
my
mean?
finger slipped.
Check it
Shit, my finger slipped again. Oh my god. All right, 1,500 low, so I'll go.
After a couple of minutes of hovering around the 3,000 mark, he blasted through 4,000 and into 5,000 in a few seconds. His pledge then changed so that he would leave before he went below 4,000. And of course, he acted like he never said it when he actually burned himself down below that amount. But just because of these small L's he took doesn't mean he wasn't heading toward another massive W.
Get in the bag.
6K.
Get in the bag.
Check it out,
Get in the bag. Oh my god. Holy shitballs, man.
Due to his increasing ambition, he once again melted back down to 4,000 and some change, at which point he decided to take a more radical approach.
We went down this far below earlier. Hit him with the 450 piece. Hit him with the 450 piece, Austin. You gotta hit him with a left upper hook right here. Oh my god.
After this tactic failed miserably, he went back to throwing hundreds at Kino hopelessly, slowly dwindling down his total,
this is
unable to
insane.
stop once again,
No,
heading far
Yaku,
below
don't do
4,000.
gambling, please.
At around 12 minutes into his rampage, he couldn't help himself and had to call up his dealer to
Oh
get
my
himself some
gosh.
gourmet za, muting himself so no one in the audience could hear what he was
Not
saying.
the
When he came
Zaza.
back, he made hitting 7,000 his new goal, despite the fact he already had enough to get himself a decent used car. Given his living conditions are comparable to a house hit by the Dresden bombing, I don't think he should be setting his standards too high as to what car he'll drive. Well, regardless, I don't think it matters, because even if he did get a car, he'd end up chopping it up and selling it for more za money and juicers. Within 1 minute of Austin calling up his dealer, he hit 7,000.
Yes, yes!
Oh shit, 7K!
Dude, there's no...
The fact that he hit exactly $7,000 on the dot could maybe be a sign that it was high time for him to stop
Yeah, it was time
gambling
for him to
right then
stop,
and there
holy
and
shit.
just take his winnings home. However, it turns out that immediately after he got up to $7,000, every car dealership and used car lot in the United States raised the prices of a Honda Civic to exactly $7,001. So he just had to keep going.
7.6?
Somehow, despite...
My dude is just... Oh my god, he's getting touched by divine intervention. Thank you for the race, Eddie. We're watching the most depressing slope I ever found recommended on YouTube ever. And it's just making me go a roller coaster of emotions. I'm 1 hour and a half and it keeps going worse and worse.
At all odds, which I realize is an expression, but literally against the actual odds of this happening, the boss man continued to win, getting up to $9,000. Despite the fact he hadn't withdrawn the money yet, he ran to go tell his parents how much he had made.
Dad, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Dad.
9K!
$9,000.
Check it out. Check it out.
Unexplainably, after hitting the milestone of
Check it
$9,000,
out.
he decided to make one last run at Keno, and within a minute, he blazed right through 11,000 and finally $13,000, drawing from the power of every single one of his ancestors, and with some degree of divine intervention, Austin was somehow capable of walking away from the keyboard while he was still up, for the very first time in his life.
500. If I lose, I'm leaving. Okay. Last one. Here we go. I'm out. Oh my god. I'm out. I'm
It's
out.
okay. He
What's
did it.
crazier is that while 12 or 13 grand is a lot of money, that $200 he began with was what was left over from a previous Keno bender in which he got up to 5 grand, put most of it in the vault, claiming he was going to buy a car and a new graphics card, only to slowly but surely take it all out of the vault and gamble it away. According to all known laws of gambling, there is no way that Boss Man should be able to reach these heights. He was promptly contacted by the stake bot, and due to
Oh. He lost over millions, but he won like 12K.
him being violently high during both of his winnings and doing other substances, he started replying to the bot like it was a real person. The bot was informing him of the benefits he'd now have as a Platinum 3 player, which meant that over $1 million worth of money had gone through his account. Sadly, sleuths who were keeping track of Bossman's crypto wallet were able to see that he hadn't withdrawn after all and had continued to gamble, slowly going from a little over 12 grand to below $4,000.
A win is a win,
After all
but
that
still.
climb, nothing had really changed, and Austin was going to make sure his winnings made no difference by gradually chipping away at them, all while reassuring himself that he was still going to have enough to get himself a car at the end. When people started complaining that he was continually pulling out his winnings in order to keep making bets, this is what he said.
Let me tell you something. When you on a heater, don't just leave because you just won a lot. You might win a whole lot more than what you just won. That's a pro tip from a professional gambler, if you do, if I can't say so myself. Pro gambler. Oh my God! Oh my God, guys, look what just happened!
The fact that he won at the end, but that the money he won was far less than he ultimately lost by repeatedly drawing from his vault to keep gambling is a very special kind
so
of funny.
fucking
But just when you
dumb.
thought that this would run the usual course of
Average
Austin burning
addict,
himself all the way down to zero and then crying and complaining that no one would juice him, something even more unexpected happened. Once he got down to
That's my phone, I'm sorry.
$1,000 and started climbing back up again, he apparently took the
He
win
is
for
the
granted
1%
and
that
began
doesn't
taking
stop.
huge chances, betting hundreds of dollars per round of Keno. At one point, even getting up to over 1,000 on a single spin. This had all the makings of another legendary boss man breakdown, but unexplainably, he started winning again. A minute into his final Keno escapade, he turned a $900 bet into a total of $16,500. This was more than his historical 12,000 run from earlier, and once again, he started talking about cashing out. Talking being the operative word here, because, like always, he didn't. His gumption got the best of him, and he immediately tried to bet a whopping
Down
$3
the
grand on a single
adrenaline.
spin, but the site wouldn't allow him to do it.
Oh, it's too much. It's too much. You can't even do it with 3,000 Keno. You can do 1,000 though. Here we go.
Again, the odds were stacked as high as possible against our boy, and somehow he made it through.
22K! I would have had.
I'm moving out.
No, you're gonna be fucking homeless with that attitude. Shut up.
30K. Oh my God.
You're gonna be fucking homeless by the
What
end of the
comes next
fucking
is
week with
almost
that fucking
painful to
attitude.
watch.
Shut up.
Despite
Shut the
having
fuck
well
up.
over $20,000,
This is a
Bossman
sign.
proceeds to do
No, it's
10
not.
consecutive $1,000 spins and lose every single dollar. Once he whittled his total down to $10,000, he doesn't stop and cash out. No, that would be a coward's move. And as
It
he
was
himself has
literally
said,
22K.
scared money don't make no money. He just
Damn,
brings his bet
22K.
down to
It's a lot.
500 and
Do not see
continues
this
to
guy.
spin, only to bring it back up to 1,000 instantly and continue to disintegrate his money.
Look
In
what the
another
fuck
act
he did
of
with
serendipitous
22K.
torture from whatever demonic entity is in charge of gambling, after he goes all the way down to a measly $3,000, he hits a 63x
What I
and balloons
could,
back
what
up to
I
19
would do
grand.
with 22K. What the fuck? I would pay my bank debts. What the fuck?
Mother God! Can you imagine? Can you
That's still less than what you had previously, you dumbass bitch!
imagine? Oh my God! Holy crap, dude! This is like a movie.
Once again, feeling like he's on the hot streak of all hot streaks, he hikes his bet amount up to $1,000 again and proceeds to spin his wheels in the mud
26,
while screaming.
25.
Get out the way!
24.
Get out the way! Get out the way!
Oh my god, he's wasted.
Despite the massive
22.
hype he's exhibiting here, it quickly
25,
dies
24.
down as he proceeds to lose on the majority of the next spins. And eventually, a smidgen of sense kicks in, and he brings his bet amount back down to 500 for a few spins until he goes back up to 1,000. This downright stupid move brings him back down to just 6,000. $1,000, at which point he takes a break from the stream to recollect himself. When he comes back, he continues to spin 500s until he gets to 3,000, at which point, for reasons only a psychic,
This is fucking
omniscient
privileged
gambler
people issue,
like
man. I
Bossman
hate
would
this,
understand,
man.
he brings it back up to 1,000
He needs to be so
and
fucking
continues
humbled.
to
He needs to be
self-destruct,
fucking
almost
humbled.
accepting defeat as he did it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Holy crap. Oh well. This I got a crazy story to tell later.
But right as
Oh,
the boss man
God.
plane stalled and was heading towards
Someone's
total
fucking yelling
incineration,
comes up the way.
unimaginable somehow happened again. First to nearly 10,000,
8K win. 8K win.
then to 19.
Oh! 19K!
Okay.
19K! We're getting up over our record.
Then to 24.
Go back up to
Nice.
the powwow. There you go. Oh my God. 24K. 24K.
And
What is
after
this
a brief
game? I
small
don't
period of
understand
losses
this
to
game.
a never seen before 30 that led Austin to once again transform into an animal, this time a seal.
21!
There it is, boys! What I say? What did I say? Oh my God!
Shortly after, he topped this amount once again by getting to 37 and finally $40,000.
Oh,
it gives
shit.
me anxiety to see him continue to bet after he hits 40, saying that
It gives me anxiety too. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. Good on you, but like, holy fuck. I kind of understand the appeal of watching this train wreck because, like, his reactions are quite entertaining. But this is so fucking sad.
that he wants to see if he'll hit 50. On one hand, I feel like a
Dump it.
sadistic Bogendog brother who vicariously gets off on seeing Boss Man endlessly stuck in the gambling equivalent of Mr. Bones' wild ride. On the other hand, I'm in the same ride with Austin,
It's like
experiencing
almost
the
like
same
watching
pain
Tenma
and the
doing
same joy
limbs.
that he does, and hoping that he wins and cashes out despite how undeserved that good ending
Dump
is.
it.
He eventually manages to
He
hit
bought?
$48,000 before melting back down to 30 repeatedly and ending up going down to 18,000. Make no
Oh my
mistake
God,
though, this
this
is
is-
still a historical win of unprecedented proportions, and possibly done on purpose by whoever was Austin's original stake handler to buy back his undying loyalty to their company. It's important to remember that Austin got to the heights he got to while still having 13,000 in his stake vault from his previous winnings. So in reality, he peaked at a little over 60,000 and ended up with a total of 31. It's half of what it could have been, but it's also way, way more than what it should have been. So he got a lot of money.
Oh my
Regardless of how
God.
much he really lost, he could still afford everything he wanted with his money, which makes it that much more disheartening to see that after all this, the closest thing to actually cashing out Austin can come to is saying he'll take a breather. It pains me to say that of the 18,000 he got in this Keno run, he only cashed out 10. the remaining 8 being set aside to be re-gambled, which
Oh
inevitably
my
meant it got sucked back
gosh.
into the stake void from whence it came. In an even worse turn of events, when he bottomed out of the money he'd capped to continue gambling, he slowly but surely took out the money he'd saved in his vault at $500 a pop, and all of it was eaten up by steak. All of it. It's hard to even believe the words coming out of my mouth, and Austin was having some trouble believing it himself.
I just lost $40,000 today, man. I can't believe it, man.
This one time, his depressed attitude got the jump on his coke rage, and he managed to walk away from the bottomless pit that was his wallet without turning into Juggernaut from X-Men. I guess we can call that character development. On his
This would
Discord,
make
he
a
said,
Batman
"Well, guys,
villain
I
out
lost
of
it
me."
all." And you know what?
If I lost this much money, I would become the next fucking Batman villain across the whole city. This would make me evil in all ways and insane. What the fuck?
But that's okay. It's not like I earned it. I clicked on my mouse a few
What
times
the
and somehow made
fuck?
40 grand. Yeah, I'm dumb for losing it, but I still got
That
3 meals and a
Joker!
cot,
I'll
as
be the
well as
next
awesome
fucking
viewers like you guys that
Joker.
watch me
Want
every
a
day
funny
and give me a
Joker?
reason to get out of bed. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for being there for me through all the ups and downs I go through. Much love, everyone. For me, this cemented him as the ultimate anti-cow. The man who would
The
not be
gambler?
what they wanted him to be. The arch enemy of all
the
rats.
Joker, baby.
Permanently plot armored against ridicule. The boss man. Embracing his loss
This
with
is so
grace,
painful.
Austin took a quick break from gambling for some monkey action, and once again, got more than what he bargained for. First, there was some kind of magical Mediterranean man with paranormal TV access.
What up, dude?
Hey, what's up, brother?
I'm just out to brag about no pay-per-view for any NFL game. I watched every game today for free, dude.
No shot. Are you serious? Oh my god! He got all the games for free! No way, you're being serious? Dude,
I don't know what this language
Then he put
means.
some of his white boy riz on a few queens to some mixed reactions.
white boy part of the gang, you feel me? I'm part of that. I go bang. You know what I'm saying? She knows what's good. The one in the middle knows. She knows I'm gang. Yep. No, I'm gang.
It's really nice to see himself.
You gay? No.
Enjoying and not wallowing in his loss. I guess a man who's already lost it all can only win. That is, unless he gets more juicers, in which case he can go on losing for as long as he can breathe. Now, armed with his high-tech rat spotting binoculars, there was nothing that could stop him.
He's a rat, boss!
There was nothing that could stop him. Proof of this is that immediately after he started gambling again, he suffered another loss, prompting him to promise to quit and delete his kick, followed by a Discord crash out, attacking the rats, unwilling to juice him so that he could go on another heater.
It's almost like he's like in front of like all his boys trying to act cool. He goes in here and goes, "Hey, boss man Jack, how you doing?" I said, "Bro, I just smashed your mom's so hard."
I won't go over the entirety
I
of
feel
this
like he
incident,
might
but Austin
actually
ended
sell
up
his
spending
kidney
hours
in
working
this.
toward what
We're
came to
like
be
1
referred
hour
to
and a
as
half.
the Rat Inquisition, as he rooted out concealed rats in his Discord community. When he finally fired up a stream on Kick, he continued to rant and rave about how much the rats pissed him off, while he got thoroughly cleaned out by Kino. Strangely, his anger here actually made him more coherent than usual, instead of the opposite.
I'll tell you what though, I'm blessed, man. I have one of the best families you could ever ask for, bro. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have definitely mistreated them over the last few years. Not to that extent that these rats try to say, but do I show them as much love as they deserve and that I should give to them? No.
The rats
He's mostly
angered him to the
harmless.
point where he was struggling to contain Based Man episodes.
I don't
and
know about
Austin
that.
started
He's
delivering
kind of
prophecies
violent.
to his viewers.
We need help, man. Everyone in this world needs so much help, dude. I think the end of the world's coming sooner than you guys think it is, bro. I honestly think the end of the world is coming a lot sooner than you.
I feel like with his, I don't. Sure, you can call him harmless, but I feel like if he gets to 1 million at some point and he loses all of it, he's gonna kill a man. He might not have done it until now, but he might actually kill a man. He is very violent.
You guys even could imagine. And I'm not just saying that, man. the world has gone a very, very dark slope downhill.
But before you think he's gone full schizo, he brings
Tenma
it
might
back
predict
down
the
and opens
future. Oh
up.
fuck!
I went to a doctor's appointment today.
I don't
I'm
want
on
that.
medication.
I'm
I've been
knocking on
medication for
wood. I don't
years.
want that to
I'm
happen.
scared to get off it. I was really out of my mind before I was on this medication. I think there are good medications for certain
I
people.
don't want none of that to
and there's bad
happen.
medications. I think I'm on a good medication for myself. Everyone can have their own opinion about everything. That's fine.
After this extended sequence of direct engagements with the chat, now mostly rat-free due to the Inquisition, the stream goes on as usual, though as it came to an end, Austin ended up sleeping with the stream on accident. Funnily enough, it seemed that he began dreaming and muttering to himself as if he was still alive and gambling, resulting in this audio clip. If you didn't catch that, that's our boy saying, "Damn, I just lost it all." Even in his dreams, he's getting felted on Kino. Eventually, when he returned, he wasn't in as peaceful of a mood, which concluded in the early passing of yet another headset. He went
Me playing video games and I dream about them.
once again started threatening to do drastic things to himself, as well as promising to quit streaming, only to return later in a better mood to explain himself. I want to apologize to everyone about earlier. I'll be honest with you guys, I just quit using substances, and I'm on day 3, and I'm literally going insane. Please keep me in your prayers and wishes. I didn't want to make it public until I was a week clean, but I'm struggling, guys. Despite his attempts at walking back his inflammatory words, the rats weren't having it, and while they thoroughly vandalized his offline kick chat with jokes about Austin and his lore, they began heavily circulating a picture of the boss man holding a funny pebble, but it's a kind of pebble that only the most esoteric of individuals are known to light up and smoke. After calming down, he started streaming again, only to get wiped and crash out again.
I just lost it all. I just lost it all.
You see that? You see that?
As soon as he got back on his computer, he looked up how to contact Kick on YouTube and watched intently as a guy with an Indian accent broke down the already easy task of emailing the support email that Kick provides every user with. He went as far as to read out loud the email he was sending them.
Honestly, I don't know yet. There is no iOS app, Android app.
I'm done, guys. I'm done doing
There
this.
is on the website.
I'm done with the harassment. I'm done with losing. I'm done with being miserable all the time. I'm done.
Bro.
Steps, then just right.
Okay, support at Kick. All right. All right, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the streams over the years, man. This is it for me, dude. I need my account deleted. I am miserable. I hate my life. Streaming makes everything so much worse. I'm sorry, John. You just wasted that, dude. I'm getting off, dude. I'm done streaming, dude.
The thing is, whenever he's clearly belaboring the deletion of his account as much as possible, it's because on some subconscious level, he knows he'll be back. If he actually did the very simple things necessary to
Literally
stop
4 hours
streaming
left. Of
or
course he's gonna
exclude
come
himself
back.
from being capable of gambling or streaming again, he'd have an extremely hard time coming back, as there are structures set up precisely for gambling addicts to help recover.
Me
However,
saying that
it's
I'll
clear
stop
he does
streaming and
everything in
take
his
a
power
break.
to stop
Comes
gambling
back
and
later. Shut
streaming,
up, Maemi.
except for the
Open
things he knows
stream.
will work
It's
way
time to
too
get
well.
ila.
To the shock of precisely no one, just a little while after he promised to leave his online gambling career behind him, he sent a message on Discord,
It's just
which
like
read,
me,
"I ain't
for
going
real,
nowhere.
for real."
F these rats." The boss man's cycle of responses is undefeated
Good
and
night, Ace.
undisputed. Fortunately for our entertainment and his sanity, he slow-rolled his return a little bit, getting on Monkey for a while before he hopped back on Steak. While this Monkey sesh didn't yield great results, one girl he tried to rizz up decided to psychoanalyze him instead.
What's up? Damn. Damn. I want to butter your butt up and call you a biscuit.
Oh my god, what happened to your wall?
Oh god. No, there's no. I feel like you can get so much easier pussy if you at least know how to initiate a conversation like a normal fucking human being. You would actually get laid if you're not so fucking autistic about the way to approach women this way. Holy fuck, this hurts me.
That was when you were here last week. You remember?
Oh my god, it's right there too. You have some
Yeah.
anger issues, brother.
Listen, I can't control.
I think if I looked in the dictionary and looked up the word red flag, a picture of your face would be next to it.
Red flag of what?
You're a red flag.
Of what?
A red flag of what?
Getting nothing good out of Monkey, he decided to get to the meat of his stream, only to be further harassed by rats who joined his blackjack game with names such as Bossman Crack and Derek Xmas. While I very unfortunately can't show you what I'm about to cover, people made an anime edit of the Bossman smoking some primo boulders in what seems to be an apple. Yes, an apple. It seems this arboreal smoking utensil blessed him with a heater as he proceeded to rocket up to $1,700 only to lose all of it and vow to self-exclude from every casino. But before he even got the opportunity to break his vow, the moderation of Kick intervened on his behalf and banned his account. For a moment there, it really looks like they were giving him a way out of his crippling addiction. And finally, he could walk away from it all for good until the rat who was responsible for reporting him revealed himself, saying, "I just want to let you know that I'm the one who recorded your stream and sent a report to Kick regarding your racism toward the black people you were talking to on Monkey. I also mentioned your health, harming others and yourself, mentally and physically, on stream, everyday gambling. Get your life together. Maybe we'll see you on Facebook or YouTube Live soon." I'm not going to act like Bossman wasn't going to come back one way or the other here. We all know he'd find a way to play
If you're not
again.
gonna get
But
hit,
the fact that this
you're
guy
gonna
came
get
out and
it.
identified himself, at least at this very moment, single-handedly lit a fire under Austin, consisting of pure and relentless seething hatred for all rats, which fueled his comeback sooner rather than later. After extensively ridiculing this guy for reporting him, Austin revealed that his ban only lasted for 7 days, meaning he'd be back on Kick
Got
in a
stuck in the
week.
chill thingy. Nice decoration.
And I do have to specifically say back on Kick here because while he was banned on that platform, he somehow found a way to get back on Twitch. And to celebrate his early return to streaming, he introduced his mom to the stream.
Alright guys, say hi to my mom. Hi. Right here, guys. This is the camera, this is the chat right here.
Oh my god, she looks like a lovely old woman as well. Oh, goodness gracious. This woman went through so much abuse through this man. She doesn't deserve this. You're gonna be like, oh my god, Tenma, you don't even know her or something. Oh my fucking god. No, you... Oh.
Okay.
Say hi to my mom, guys. Watch, watch, watch.
We love you. Hello. Hello.
Oh my god.
Hello.
What up, Mom?
Hi, guys.
I have no idea how this sweet woman gave birth to such a vicious savage as the Bossman.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't know either what the fuck trauma happened in their family, but you would really do that to your mom? This poor woman. Jesus Christ.
Regardless, Austin got back to gambling big time.
I blame
and somehow
RuneScape.
beat the odds once again. While he wasn't streaming during this particular stake session, he regularly updated his Discord server with screenshots of his winnings, getting all the way up to $8 grand. Granted, he admits
Beatings? I wouldn't say like allegedly, because I don't want to get in troubles, but his punching walls making very big holes in it. I feel like he might have raised his fist at his mom possibly once or twice due of his aggression outburst. From what I've seen so far,
that the majority of
allegedly.
this money, that is,
I don't
if
know.
he cashes it out, would go directly to paying off
But he
the
is very
debts he's
aggressive.
accrued. But still, this meant he could potentially become debt-free. Immediately after this great news, he climbs another $3,000, putting him at over $10K. The Honda Civic was once again within the boss man's grasp, and funnily enough, it was during this climb that Austin revealed he'd wagered almost 900 grand in the
I can't
past
look
month
away.
alone.
That is-
Suddenly, that 8,000 is
Neither
not as
can
impressive.
we.
He eventually
Neither
started
can we
streaming
look
again,
away.
and while
This
I'm not
is
sure
so
if he cashed out his
sad.
previous winnings or if this clip is from the original climb, this clip is worth being played nonetheless.
All right, big 63, please hit,
Neither
please hit.
can
Lord.
I.
No! Oh my God! Mom! Mom! I just won 4 grand! I just won 4 grand! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
While his stake and Kick partnership was still suspended, Bossman found himself a new sponsor called RainBet, which, much like the
Christ.
aforementioned
Yikes.
RuneBet, was very shady. Much like the stake alternative he was using in order to evade another Twitch ban,
900K.
RainBet did gambling through a digital token instead of explicit money. However, it doesn't seem like this
Close to
ban
1
evasion was too
million.
effective, given that while Austin
I
was
would've
sleeping, his account was banned
retired.
again. This didn't affect him too much, though.
I
as he
would have
continued to
fucking
find ways to stream,
retired
this
and
time
make
moving over to
someone else
YouTube.
from my
While he was
family
sidestepping
retired
the
as
mainstream
well.
streaming platform platforms, Austin continued to regularly lose his marbles whenever he lost his money. But despite still going strong, streaming on YouTube meant only a fraction of his audience was coming along with him.
Has gambling on like digitalized online gambling gained popularity since COVID? When did it become a thing? I feel like it became a thing during COVID, maybe. I think. I'm not sure. I feel like that's when it started hitting up. No, it will never happen a collaboration. Let's not. I do not want to interact with this man at all. It's just horrendous. I feel very bad and I wish him the best of health. Mentally, in a padded room filled with rats. Yeah. Because I can't think of him otherwise how to cure addiction. And the US, it was a big thing since ish, but it got big in 2019 because it stopped being super illegal. Oh, wow.
Fortunately for him, within just a few days, his Twitch was unbanned, and his Kick was set to be reinstated shortly after. Whether he was on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, nothing really changed about how he conducted himself. First, he gambles through tons of money to win a couple grand.
Oh.
Then, he tells his mom about it like he's gonna cash it out and give her something nice.
Mom!
Lastly, he refuses to cash any of it out, and after getting up to almost 4 grand, he undoes all of his progress and loses everything he made up until this point, immediately ending the stream.
Dude, are you serious? Wow.
Nothing new under the sun. The repetitive, almost ritualistic nature of the boss man boom and bust cycle makes it so that over the course of multiple streams,
this is so embarrassing, man. This is so fucking embarrassing.
When he's just interacting with his surroundings or engaging with the chat. For example, after battling his rats for months, it seems that Austin had found his new enemy, the fruit flies.
Come on, dude.
Fruit
flies are driving me nuts, bro. I don't know, like little fruit flies or something.
It's almost hard to highlight how ironic it is that he claimed to not know why the fruit flies were there when he's literally smoking out of a rotting apple, and that's without mentioning that his bedroom is an eternal pigsty. Another neat moment is when Austin, like a real Yakubian crack scientist, decides to quote-unquote fix the headset that he broke.
Alright, that works, guys. At least I got it on my head now.
Unfortunately, his final solution to the headset question was short-lived.
My life is actually garbage, bro. Wow, man.
And he did it again. And again. At this point, you probably have picked up on the noticeable absence of Austin talking about his attempt to stay sober, obviously because he had long given up. A sign that he'd gone right back to his, shall we say, medication is that right after decimating his headphones, he attempted to play some music, only to get a puzzling expression on his face when he heard nothing, and only after a couple of seconds, realizing that he had no headphones anymore because he destroyed them. Headphone or not, the man of the hour kept pushing on relentlessly, hoping for a heater, and getting felted time and time again, which was often paired with the illustrious appearance of the Coke crash
These are like slot machines, no?
Yo!
I don't know these. I literally don't know none of these. These are slot machines, no? Digitalized. Virtual, not digitalized.
I just broke my mouse.
In a later stream from the middle of November, by which point Austin at least had the decency to cut the rat's nest that his hair had become, Austin had been playing for hours on end. At which point he says he needs to lay down for a bit, swearing he wouldn't go to sleep.
That's
then
all the
he just went to sleep.
resume
He
I
proceeded
can
to
give.
sleep for the next 6 hours while the stream was still
Also
rolling.
very
And he only
aggressive.
woke up because his doorless bedroom allowed his dog to walk in. When he came back to his senses, he immediately did what he knew best. He started gambling again. Besides the obvious reasons why this isn't a wise thing to do, his sleep-deprived state made him even more out of control than usual. And after he experienced some strange glitches due to internet connection issues, he suggested that RainBet was scamming him. Keep in mind, this goofball gambles through a VPN in order to work around the fact it's illegal to gamble in Virginia, so any internet connection issues he struggles with are likely to come from his end, not from RainBet's server. Additionally, a gambling company doesn't need to mess with the connection to scam you.
Is
as
it
soon as you
from
walk into a
Virginia?
casino or interact with an online gambling platform, you're already being scammed by default. Just like with his previous sponsor, RainBet dropped him as soon as they got wind of what he was saying, and he proceeded to announce to his Discord server that they were all scammers. In reality, the real problem he most likely has with RainBet is that they're not
Even get
Stake, and
sponsored
he
by
is
this?
a loyal man. Stake's strongest soldier simply incompatible with other sites. Later on, he also revealed that the specific reason they dropped him was because he spam called them at 4 a.m. While he presented as being upset, Austin was very happy to go back to Steak, although this happiness didn't translate to winnings.
Oh my god, dude! I just lost.
What's even funnier is that at this point, he had to figure out how to plug his headphones directly into his computer monitor as opposed to the tower because he destroyed the normal headphone jack on his computer. I assume from yanking the cord out of it with all the strength of a crack-addled maniac. And a few days later, this humble headset also met its untimely demise.
God, that should be illegal, dude.
It's funny to see him say it should be illegal, given that in
If
his
I
state,
get mad,
it
I
actually
throw
already
absolutely
is,
empty
and he's
bottles.
going out of his way to circumvent it. But while his gambling activity remained relatively stable, something strange started happening in parallel to it. During streams, the boss man was often interacting with someone on his phone, a user named Shifty G, who occasionally interacted with him in his chat and frequently juiced him.
Did we get to
Based
finish
on
the half
Austin's
saga?
behavior, it seems very much
I don't think
that
it's
Shifty
even
was telling him
started
what
yet.
to do with juicers, and for reasons unknown, Austin was following along. While it's been speculated by some that this is some elaborate way for this Shifty person to launder money, I really don't know what could possibly be the motivation of doing this. Regardless of what the case is, this kept Austin gambling in a relatively stable fashion over the next few days, with no particularly intense crash outs of note. In one moment, when Austin took a break to talk to the chat, someone asked him what his favorite car was, only for him to reveal that while he was loyal to Steak, he was not loyal to the Honda Civic, as Austin proceeded to salivate over expensive Bentleys and Rolls Royces. After that, he spent what seemed like hours fiending and stimming back and forth as he had to wait for his affiliate money, $4 by the way, to be freed up for his gambling needs. When Austin finally got his hands on it, he managed to turn that $4 into $4,000. In a victory so hysterical, it once again made him go back to Monkey. Not the website, the animal.
Go back to Monkey.
Unsurprisingly, it wasn't long before a new boss man heater instantly rattled the nest of the envious rats, who immediately began hatching plans for his downfall. Somehow, they got their little rat paws on Derek's phone number and started texting him, asking him for some of his supply, only for him to claim that he's only a user, and his substance of choice is exclusively the Za, which he doesn't consider a drug. Now, jokes aside, irrelevant of what kind of guy Derek is, you really shouldn't contact people you don't know, especially to harass them over their connection to internet celebrities. The variety of bad things that can come of that kind of interaction is hard to even list. What's even worse is that based on the things these people were telling Derek, it seems their intention was to purposely cause Austin harm, which is absolutely wrong. Fortunately, as previously stated, all rat infestations simply roll off his back like he's the Pied Piper of gambling. Austin continued to run a train on himself via Keno, going from a miserably $1 of affiliate money to 700 big ones, prompting some pretty high energy celebratory dancing. I don't even need to say it at this point, but at the end of his Keno session, he brought his total back down to a big round zero.
Oh my god, stop! Dude, oh my god, bro! What is that? It just stopped hitting, bro! Oh my god!
After some thorough Discord
Ratsa
self-flagellation,
has his
he came
hate
back
watchers. I
like
feel
nothing had
like
ever
all of his
happened.
watchers are
Initially, he
rats.
acknowledged that his addiction to
watching
Keno
him
was
at
harming
this
him,
point.
but within 4 minutes, he
I
simply
hardly
couldn't hold
believe these
himself
people
back. This would be
genuinely watching
extremely
him.
sad if it wasn't so
Out
consistently
of
funny,
kindness.
at least for us. Doesn't seem to be too much fun for Austin, let alone his parents. Amidst his many losses, he has a candid
Garnishing
moment
a
with his viewers
community
and
who hate
reveals an
watches
embarrassing
you.
detail about his past.
I guess it's a way to fame, but is it good
I mean, a
though?
lot of us would, but would I, like, in particular, always ask people for money?
Is
Go, yo,
it
let me get
really a
dollar.
good
Yo, let me get
choice?
$1. Yo, dude, because I be asking people for money to gamble with on this, dude.
Imagine being in your mid to late 20s asking for dollars at the skate park to gamble with. That is dark. Soon after, Boss Man levels up on Stake once again as he crossed the 2.5 million wagered mark. Maybe this was a trigger for him to acknowledge the reality of his situation,
good
as
to have
before the
this
month
type of
ended, Austin
community, I
suffered a
agree.
massive episode of
Cut him
anxiety
off
on
early.
stream. This incident started with him being his usual stimming and jittery
Saddening.
self,
It's
saying
really
he wasn't
saddening.
feeling well and had to take a break. So far, not at all extraordinary, as Austin's extremely long streaming times tended to make him feel sick and need to get off stream temporarily. However, he came back just a minute later, still rattled.
I like had to stand up to feel normal again. Once I stood up, I was like, oh, I'm feeling fine. Yeah, no, I'm just stressing, bro, a lot. Y'all know that about me already if you watch my stream. I've gotten a lot better recently, though, I'd say, man. with just everything.
Though he claims to be feeling better here,
There's
soon after he
there's no
abruptly leaves the
empathy in
room,
those
all while
eyes.
repeating
He's
that he's
so
fine. He
he's
eventually
so
comes
dead
back
inside.
and starts asking the chat what could be wrong with him, expressing that he believes he's feeling this way because he hadn't had a good smoke of some good za in a while. At which point, he leaves the stream for another 2 minutes. This cycle repeats a couple times to no avail as he continues to freak out indefinitely, breathing heavily and audibly swallowing saliva as if he were nauseous. His chat repeatedly tells him to drink water, but instead of water, he downs 2 whole bottles of body armor, which he considers equal to, if not superior to water. Nearly half an hour into this incident, and he's still feeling bad and freaking out on stream, at which point he begins to consider that he might be having an anxiety attack. Later on, he lays down for a bit, gets back up, and starts trying to gamble again, although the heavy breathing never seems to fully go away.
That's not
Eventually,
good.
he claims his parents weren't in town, and thus, he wasn't reminded to take his meds, and ended up going without them, hence the anxiety. But instead of stepping away from the stream and steak, he decides
It's
to
a
try
show, Wayne.
sucking on
Discuss.
ice
This video
cubes
is
in order
5
to
hours,
power
man.
through it. He turns his face cam off for a bit, and when he turns it back on, he feels another surge in anxiety. He downs a 3rd bottle of body armor while repeating the mantra that he's fine while breathing heavily, pacing, and stimming back and forth. Over an hour into it, he continues to try and power through, although it's clear his eyes are tearing up, and he's even more jittery than usual. Finally, he gives up trying to stream and goes to sleep, and when he comes back, he feels fine, and he loudly slops up a sub in celebration. As November came to an end and December began, Austin once again became noticeably more self-aware, picking up on certain code words that the rats used, which exposed their rat status.
This is, you know, this. You guys heard of the Sneed word or whatever? Like Sneed, that's like something to do with the rats or something.
Very much sugar.
While he doesn't seem to be
Sweet.
at all familiar with the source of the word, he has at least noticed that it was
didn't
heavily
know that.
associated with the Kiwi farms. And that's all he needed to identify
Snake,
and
feed, and
execute all
seed.
rats on set.
I know
General
that
Boss Man
meme.
proceeds to
The early
expose one
days of
particular
people-
member of his audience
people
who
spawned
had
that
been
meme
recently
to
revealed
her.
to be a rodent.
Cakester's a huge rat, dude.
I
Little
remember
DMs of me
that.
asking for loans, put on his little Kiwi
Hmm.
site with his little chode boyfriends, sucking each other's little dicks off and shit. Can I get a loser in the chat before I get off?
For a long time, Austin refused to even acknowledge anything related to KF. But now, it was all-out war on the Kiwi
Yeah.
sisters. After he was done making an example out of these people, he ended his stream, which in reality meant that he switched the screen to the default waiting image, but he failed to turn off the audio, resulting in his entire audience listening to him lighting up, which I'll avoid playing here for safety reasons. Soon
Lighting
after,
up?
he returned to the stream, and while he was pretending to be
Drugs?
sober, he wasn't doing a really great job at it, since he was like rhythmically stimming and rubbing his head and clenching his jaw like a total tweaker.
We can get an 8 or 9. We can get an 8 or a 9. We can get an 8 or a 9.
sad.
We can get an 8 or a 9. We can get the 8 or a 9, dude. Oh my god, he took the 9, dude.
Is this guy on Met yet?
It's okay.
No! Oh my god.
Once again, he thought he turned his mic off and proceeded to let his entire
Oh,
audience in on the
gosh.
phone call he made to his dealer as they negotiated over minerals. Over the next few days, every stream Boss Man made was very
Oh, he's
energetic
so fucked
for
up.
mysterious reasons, and he was clearly becoming dysfunctional as hot mic incidents or technical issues became super frequent. I don't know if he accidentally pressed a button that muted his mic or if he just disconnected his microphone, but whatever the case is, he spent the next minute or so without even noticing he had no audio. After a period with no major destruction taking place in his bedroom, Austin once again mauls his headphones after a bad game of blackjack.
Oh my god.
But despite his vicious assault on them, he's not satisfied and picks them back up for a second round. A few days later, he decided to acknowledge his propensity to steamroll through his headsets and spent 12 hours looking through his headphones, finally settling on one that had an aluminum frame that was meant to last for years of intense use.
Yeah?
In Boss Man's world,
How long did
meant
that
it
last?
could last for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months if he puts down the pipe, but we know that he won't. After the headset problem was heading toward a solution, Austin got some Kino action that immediately lost him everything he had and sent him into a deep depression. Once he got done with the usual kick chat and Discord self-flagellation, he entered a profound state of meditation that lasted for 10 minutes, concluding on the realization that he was fine and just overreacting to an L. This realization lasted for approximately 4 minutes, maybe, at which point he went on another deranged rant, and this time, it's
Oh my fucking god. What is this roller coaster of emotion? What is happening? This man is fucked. This man is fucked.
Took him 20 minutes to walk it back. I really liked how over time, the cycles increased in speed and frequency. Feeling that he wasn't having a lucky day at stake,
Looking at my Twitter for a second,
although
be
this time
like,
it was cut short by
that's like my Twitter post, pod. Me making a thread about something with full of emotions, roller coaster. My fucking Twitter post be like,
a man stroking his disco stick, which deeply disturbed the boss man.
Yeah, I know, right? I left immediately. Oh! Oh my god!
Good morning.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh!
Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, Austin's time as a free agent came to an end, as Stake decided to take him back and put him on a deal, in spite of all the things he'd said about their company. Looking at it from the perspective of someone who cares for Boss Man and doesn't want him to completely self-destruct, this is terrible news, as getting partnership money from Stake means he'll start gambling on steroids. However,
oh my fucking god. What is happening? This is insane.
However, from the perspective of someone who's entertained by his crash outs, this means we can expect a hot streak of juicy stream clips of Austin being a human IED and glassing his entire bedroom after being felted by Kino. Immediately after getting the deal, Austin proceeds to repeatedly get on Kino, make a couple of bucks, call his dealer to place an order for some 99.1% pure za and whatever else his nostrils are craving that day, only to lose the money gambling and have to cancel the order, followed by him getting off Kino for a couple of minutes, rinse and repeat over and over.
And waiting rooms, and we have this in the background, and we just can't keep looking away now.
He gets particularly fed up with Kino's unfair treatment of his money, and he reacts to it accordingly. Look at his throwing form. Forget Kino, someone should show this clip to a scout for the Mets. Despite losing it all, he was still in dire need of his supplements, prompting him to beg in his chat for some money,
just having
and
reactions
even
of a
offer jumping
disappointed
jacks in exchange
parent.
for $15.
I can't even give proper reactions.
Looking like a derelict tweaker, living in squalor, putting holes in his walls, begging for money online, frequently crashing out,
this is a
and
straight
now
up
doing
Cartoon
jumping jacks
Network
on
bullshit.
stream for
What
spare
is
change.
happening?
Boss Man is
Looney
actually
Tune
becoming Daniel
shit.
Larson. He must have eventually gotten what he needed because he proceeded to stream throughout the entire night without even looking tired, at one point being so loud that he woke up his parents.
Let's get this bread, baby! Woo!
After this, he tries to keep it down for a bit, although that goes as well as expected.
Yes. Oh! Oh my gosh, guys! Oh my gosh, guys! Woo!
I don't even know how he's not getting fined for noise complaints or something. He's doing all of this in the middle of the night. But taking pity on his parents, Austin decided to stop gambling for the night and keep it quiet to let them sleep peacefully. Just kidding. He ran out of juice, prompting him to mosey on over to Monkey, only to stumble upon someone streaming footage from a mass murder incident, which he had to rush to turn off before he got a terms of service strike. Around the same time, an unnamed rat called the cops on Austin, which he reacted to in real time.
Cops just came here. Someone called the cops on me.
When someone in his chat informed him that this was an attempted swatting with the intention to hurt or at least disturb him, Austin responded in kind.
That didn't bother me at all. Why would that bother me? They didn't hurt me. They didn't waste my time. It was very quick. You can't really do much to me, man. You really can't.
I love that he's self-aware about his invulnerability. As long as there are juicers in the vault and some za or other...
Oh my god. I guess it's better than other swatting stories, but I've heard, but like, isn't this a bit too much? As in, he is challenging them to do their worst type of deal. I feel like that's the number one thing you shouldn't do. Don't challenge them to be worse. So this is depressing, man.
Other things to light up in his magic apple pipe. You can shoot the boss man at point blank and he won't feel a thing. If anyone's a threat to his well-being, that anyone is no one else but Austin himself.
Can
Being
I hold
serious
the
for a
tail?
moment though, this is another example of exactly what not to do when following someone
How
like
much are you
Austin.
planning to
Engaging
choose
directly
to
with
hold
them
this
or donating
fancy
to
ass
them is
fluffy
bad
tail,
enough, but trying to
partner?
hurt them by swatting them is wrong on a different level. Luckily, nothing really
Goodness.
came out of this and he went about his day as usual. Eventually, his headset arrived and I think it made Austin more self-conscious cautious than usual because it really
Juicer.
seemed like he was actively trying not to obliterate it. While his losses were accumulating and his headphones were inching closer to
5,000,
extinction, their
5,000,
fate was
$5.
averted for the time being.
100 juice
as
box?
Austin
Oh
got
my
his
God,
payment for the
100
steak
juice box,
sponsorship,
one?
putting him in good spirits.
Twice?
Later on, in the same stream,
One
he
buff
reveals
month?
he's getting
Once?
a whopping $1,800 a week. With this newfound fat source of juice, he went on another all-nighter, slowly turning that 1,800 motor load into nothing. He also accidentally showed his last month's stats, revealing he had a negative balance of 41,000. I might be wrong here, but I don't think this is the total of his wagers. It's just how much real money went into his account, whether from steak itself or from juicers. As Christmas time came near, his brother visited his house and even appeared on stream. It's almost grim the way that he, a well-adjusted guy, walks into the carpet-bombed boss man bedroom, and while Austin is showing him the works, he's constantly taking notice of all the holes in the walls.
Damn. When the Jedi notices the way of the Sith, like, holy shit, there's two paths. Do you take the path of the light or the path of the darkness? Holy shit. Actual grip. What the fuck? When Maemi looks at Tenma, spending it all for fucking PNG Olympus. Looks over at a collection of fucking PNG's calorie.
After watching the streams for long enough, you can get used to the state of affairs,
Oh,
so it's pretty
God.
enlightening to see a normal person juxtaposed against Austin's
that's a cute
debris.
doggo.
Another fumble from his Christmas Eve stream is when, while trying to shut his stream down to go eat and open presents with his family, Austin accidentally shows that he was actively using another casino website besides Steak called Hypa, a clear violation of his contract's exclusivity. He was
Oh
lucky
my
enough to get
God,
by
he's
and
actually
retain
on
his
crack
partnership,
cocaine,
but
my
if Christmas
dude.
Eve didn't go well, Christmas
Good
Day
evening,
was
thank
even
you so
worse.
much. Enjoy your stay.
Oh, dude!
Thank you.
Oh, God almighty.
Nice try, la creatura.
Oh,
Fuck,
no,
he's good.
dude. Oh,
85?
God.
You're crazy.
I just broke my new headphones.
But how are you gonna do that, Doggo? Because you have the mod badge. If you're gonna reach to 100, you have to either sacrifice the mod badge to show the VIP badge. Is this the path you wanna take? You really think you can actually retire to just be a VIP? Ah, not on my motherfucking watch. You are stuck to be a moderator forever. I'm not allowing you. I will never allow you for freedom. You can't be free. You have gorillas to watch over, Dogo. You're not allowed to be free. I won't let you. I will not let you.
Turns out the aluminum frame was not enough to withstand the boss man's fury. After the deed is done, Austin shows the damage he did to his headphones
my
and
gosh.
reveals that his new audio setup is a broken headset from
This is
Walmart of all
insane.
places. Despite this rough start, he eventually lands a couple of wins, resulting in this funny moment.
Triple scatter. Oh, my gosh, dude. Oh, my... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. No, he had a moment of clarity. Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking god, that's terrifying.
Soon after he makes a little money, like clockwork, he whips out his phone and makes a Christmas phone call to give himself a little present. For whatever reason, instead of just paying for this present himself, he gets one of his chat members to send 300 bones over to Derek through Cash App. Unlike all of his previous attempts at ordering Za, this time, not only does he manage to keep the money he needed to pay for his supplies, he makes even more money, and the holiday joy is too great to contain.
Oh my gosh! 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 On the first spin! Oh my...
As the Christmas climb continues, he almost breaks his chair after having just joked about it.
I think I just broke my chair. No, I didn't.
Now, I will say that one genuinely concerning thing about Austin's streams from this
I'm gonna watch this video till the end. It's 5 hours and a half. Maybe we'll stop eventually halfway through because it's a lot. I just wanted to do my schedule and the waiting rooms. I didn't really want to. Oh my god, that's a lot, man. And it keeps going worse and worse. It's like watching a man slowly disintegrating himself through so much cocaine and crack. Tamapuchi, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, we're watching the saddest, depressing slope ever. Thank you so much for the raid, though. This is just so depressing. We'll watch like 30 more minutes and then I'll end it because it's just. I need fresh air. I need a moment of clarity. I need to touch some grass because this is just a lot for me to handle. Yeah. When we're gonna get the casino sponsor, I would like to get Bone sponsored by Limbush. Come on, I funded enough for one episode. I deserve the sponsorship. Thank you once again for the raid. Enjoy your stay, guys, for 30 more minutes. Hello.
Period is that whenever his parents weren't at home, we see a lot more of his dog, Trapper, begging for food and growling, which led many to speculate that Austin neglects feeding him and giving him water when he's alone at his house.
Trapper, what do you want? That chicken? You want that chicken, buddy?
The clips from his stream aren't sufficient to outright say that this is the case,
Buddy.
but given that Austin is a full-blown addict at this point, to say it's a plausible theory is a bit of an understatement. Christmas Day's stream comes to an end, and perhaps because of his recent winnings, the boss man immediately gets ambitious, telling his server that he wants to expand his streams and wants to make $500,000 per year. It's bizarre to read this, since if you only count the money he keeps, Austin is now making $0 a year, as every last dime that enters his account, leaves it, and goes directly into Derek's account or into Kino. Speaking of Derek, it looks like this is right around when Austin's stash runs out, as he can once again be seen scrambling for nugs.
I thought I had...
1 second, excuse me, I got donuts and they arrived. I wanted to eat some powdered sugar donuts. 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm back. I got like cherry jam donut and sugar donut and powdered sugar donut, but I really like the cherry one. And yeah, I'm excited to taste them. And I got a mozzarella type of donut thingy, as in it's filled with cheese.
Weed for a second for some reason? Is that a nug? How does that even remotely look like a nug? I thought I saw a fat nug sitting on my desk. Not my dick, my desk. I didn't say dick. I don't have a nugget on my cock, okay? I don't have nuggets of weed anywhere around my penis, okay?
His weedlessness turns out to be quite the driver for Austin's bad moods, as this also happens the next time he got felted on mines.
I honestly don't know why y'all watch my streams, dude.
Cream
I literally
cheese.
hate myself. How could y'all like somebody that hates himself, dude?
To be honest, Mines is kind of a blight in Boss Man highlights. It's nowhere near as juicy as Kino, but Austin was trying to stay off Kino, at least for the time being. I really don't understand why he keeps switching between games as if they were going to yield different results for him. He's getting cleaned out either way, might as well just make it entertaining. And any event, he managed to turn a $100 juicer into $300 on mines before proceeding to melt his money down to a tenth of what it was and silently quit the stream in frustration. I mean, at least he didn't Black Ops 2 dolphin dive through his drywall, so I suppose you can call that progress. After wasting his time and his hard-earned money on mines, he decided to finally return to big boy status and make a comeback on Kino.
Man, mines is so bad. I'm going to slots if I lose this one right here. Oh, come on, come on. Come on, Kino. Dude, can I get one win? Bro, one win, please, Kino. There we are, chat. There we are. It got us back up there. It sure did.
After a few weeks resisting the call of Kino, he had one taste of it and couldn't renege as he continued to play. Over the next couple of minutes, he climbed all the way to $1,200 and then promptly took himself back down to zero.
Oh
For a
my
second
fucking
there,
God.
he once again became skeptical of the game itself, but once he
Jesus
got a $100 juicer, he once again climbed, this time to $800, but inevitably he crashed back down to zero. Surely this was a fluke though, as Kino would never unforgivingly felt and destroy him, except for the hundreds of times where it did just that. He eventually got his hands on another $150, turned it into $300 on Kino, and again turned it into dust. Kino empties his pockets another 4 times immediately after, but only one of them are worth mentioning. In one particular run, he gets nearly $2 grand, only to end up like this.
I'm self-excluding. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm not doing this anymore, dude. I'm done. I'm done with this, dude. I'm done, man. I'm done, dude.
Streaming while I was asleep?
I can't do this anymore. No, dude. I can't do this anymore, dude.
Always.
I can't do this anymore, bro.
Always has been.
I can't do this anymore. Oh my God. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick right now.
Finally, after multiple unsuccessful runs and an hour-long ride on the Kino coaster, Austin finally lands a few wins that he keeps. When he comes back, he takes out a couple hundred from his 1650 and somehow continued killing it on Kino, turning that couple hundred into over 3,000 by hitting a 63x on a $50 bet, leading him to celebrate in the traditional boss man way.
Yeah! I'm shaking. I am shaking right now. I'm out. Oh my gosh, dude.
Stupidly, he decided to take his glorious Kino money and go back to the mines, and his demise came swiftly.
Dude, what is this? How does it just turn off like that? Come on, dude. It's not real. That's not real. Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm gonna...
Oh my God.
Dude.
Because he completely decimated his keyboard, he was incapable.
I feel like after this much, wouldn't it tire you out? It was just... It's all the same. Would it still, as much as any other addiction, you still just feel nothing out of it? Like me with coffee sometimes. It just doesn't do its effect. Like, is this still like fucking fun to him?
Capable of crashing out on Discord, so instead he started reacting to people's messages
what should
with
I do with my
emojis,
son?
as that was about all he could do on his mouse. By the way, this is just a few days after Christmas. Bossman truly takes no breaks, no vacations, providing consistent entertainment for his audience all year round. What a guy. A day later, he comes back, but his stream doesn't go too well as his dad gets suspicious that he's up to no good and tries to come into his bedroom, which Austin immediately notices. So he pauses the stream to fight his dad. While the majority of Austin's antics are mostly self-destructive and therefore somewhat forgivable, the way he behaves towards his dad in particular is pretty reprehensible whenever it manifests on stream.
That's all you do, Dad. Blame all your problems on me, loser. He's looking at me like this.
What
You see how
the
that opens thing? He's looking at me like this. I just do my own thing. I can't wait to move out, bro. It's gonna be great, dude. It's gonna be great.
After loudly complaining about his dad, which becomes increasingly intense as his bad mood was compounded by his losses, his stream suddenly went offline, causing some speculation that his father turned the internet off as punishment for his behavior. But within a day, he'd come back and took his business right back to Kino, and once again hit a 63x that sent him flying across the moon like an office chair mecha.
At this point, the dad needs to take the gun and like warn him out, warn him to get the
At this
fuck
point in
out.
time, he was halfway to Platinum
way.
5, having wagered over $3.2 million on stake alone. And while he was experiencing a bit of a resurgence,
Like, not
partly due
shoot
to
him,
his
but like
return to
warn him
stake,
up,
and
like just get
particularly
out,
Kino,
scare him a
some
bit.
rats
Like it's
became
impossible to
unusually
keep him in
bold.
anymore.
One of them by the name of Firefox took to Austin's KF thread to post a picture they'd taken to prove they were near his real-life address, attempting to be menacing with the caption, "Hi Austin." This post post was instantly highlighted by moderation, notifying that the user had been banned for the post, and a bunch of people replied to him saying things like, "I don't know if you're there, but I hope you are. I hope Rat Dad shoots you. People like you are a detriment to society. Be ashamed and be better. Play in traffic while you're there." Anyway, you get the point. Austin had become something of a prized cow, a tasteful connoisseur's choice in the entertainment genre of watching people be deranged online, and the followers of Bossman were really unkind to those who merely threatened to do anything to him. Fortunately, Bossman never even knew that there was some cowardly rat skulking around the premises of his gambling palace. He was too busy banging that guy's mom and going on another Keno ride. On January 6, 2024, we have the first big coaster of the year, as Austin turns $300 into $6,000.
This is affecting his family.
And continued to blaze through it as his chat spammed him to vault his money when it got down to $4,000. It eventually did go down to $4,000, then 3, then 2, and ultimately a big fat loser's 0.
Oh my
God, I just lost $6,000.
But surprisingly, this L came with no crash out, which is pretty unique, as Austin has a hard time holding in the rage when he loses that much money.
He's starting to not
but I'm
feel
betting
anything
here he
out
was
of it.
still stocked up on Za, which
But he
definitely
still
does a good
play it.
job of
That's so
mellowing him
weird.
out. After getting another couple hundred, he decides against going back on Keno and plays some mines, and though he manages to get up to $800, this run is a lot more uneventful, and once he bottoms out, he decides that the wisest thing to do is tell off his stake manager, Eddie, on stream. He was making it a habit of doing risky things like this, like claiming that stake was rigged. Despite how happy he was that he got back with them, he didn't seem to care too much about potentially losing their sponsorship once again. Either that, or his anger was consuming him so thoroughly that he was becoming unable to make intelligent decisions anymore, which is honestly quite likely. While he seemed intent on destroying his computer, when he got up, he probably realized that was too final of a thing to do, as it would actually prevent him from gambling. So
That
he
would've
sat
been so
back down
good.
and continued
Monkey's
to
paw,
berate
motherfucker,
stake
get
for
on a
being
break.
rigged. His inability to stop eventually got the best of him, as he once again fell asleep on stream, only waking up before his dad intervened.
Get out! Get out! It's already, what are you doing?
His psychological well-being wasn't the only thing in peril either, as the amount
That's
of money
a
he was
chunky
regularly
dada.
handling, while circumventing Virginia law, by the way, could prove to be an issue in the future. One KF user by the name of LolCow Supreme ran the numbers on his crypto wallet and claimed that from the middle of 2023 to the beginning of 2024, Austin had deposited over $250,000 into his stake account, whether it be from his own money or from donos. Additionally, whenever he withdrew money, even if he immediately put it back into stake, the money he withdrew still counted as income, which could mean the boss man was looking at over $300,000 worth of tax debt. To be honest, I don't even want to think about the real life aspects of boss man. They're so dark that I'd rather just cover my eyes and ears until the next Keno run. Speaking of runs, when Austin fired up a stream a couple days later, he seemed to be very sick and not feeling too good. While the danger of another anxiety episode loomed over the chat, it looked more like Austin was literally sick. Nose running, red eyes, frequently coughing, that is, until he got a conspicuous phone call, left the stream for a bit, and returned looking very refreshed. Well, as refreshed as the boss man can look in his situation. It's at this point that people consider the high likelihood that he was simply suffering from withdrawals from not taking his supplements, hence why he came back with so much energy, going ballistic after a small mines win.
Oh my gosh, bro! No way! Oh my gosh, dude!
What is the distance between streams? Because every single moment, every single clip I'm seeing so far, he's just like cocaine. Like, does he stream daily? Does he intake daily substance? Cause this is insane. How he's okay so far.
4 gems on 10!
I don't need to tell you at this point that he lost everything he made here within minutes of getting it. Probably because all of these substances he was on, his sanity was dwindling at a pace that it hadn't in quite some time. And a day later, this happened.
Oh my god.
But despite how explosive this rage episode was, it was a controlled demolition by Austin standards, as immediately after putting his chair out to pasture, he nonchalantly walked back into the room with another chair. I like to think he has a huge stack of spare chairs, keyboards, and headsets that he keeps just in case he loses his temper. Apparently, after this brief tantrum, he resumed gambling and got up to $3,500, sending $400 to a juicer he was indebted to, and then keeping the rest to himself, which actually means he took $50 to buy some supplements and quote-unquote reinvested the rest into stake. As
Oh
intense
my
as regular
God.
Bossman streams were, things took a strange turn on January 11th when KF user Kyle Odom notified the forum, saying, Music Biz Marty, notorious lolcow A-log who fought Cyrax, organized harassment of Chantal, and is being investigated by the FBI for swatting, has now begun targeting Bossman Jack. There are male escorts on their way to Austin's house right now, and Marty is waiting. He said he sent a different escort yesterday, but nobody was at Bossman's house. If Austin has an entertaining reaction, there will soon be plumbers, car tow services, more
Is it
escorts,
staged?
and the police at Bossman's. If you're not already familiar with Music Biz Marty, he was the
don't
main
think
guy
it
in
is
charge of
staged.
terrorizing Cyrax for years, and also had some altercations with
destroyed
Foodie
Zero
Beauty,
Chance,
the
actually.
Chantal mentioned in the post.
I did
the thing
destroy,
is,
like,
regardless of
one
whether you find his
controller, though.
interactions with Cyrax entertaining
One
or
or
not,
two.
he simply has no business coming over to Bossman territory. It's one thing to organically become a lolcow herder. Some people have even managed to become beloved in their community for it, such as Liquid Chris. However, when you're actively seeking out these people just to legitimately harass them, it reeks of attention seeking, and it's exactly what takes the fun out of many of these stories. What is funny, however, is that immediately upon
I don't
seeing
know
people in
none
his
of these
driveway that he
people,
couldn't
man.
recognize, without having any idea that they were male escorts sent by Marty, Austin immediately yelled out to his dad, telling him to get the strap.
I said, hey! I did it real loud. I can't remember what he said, but I was like, said,
Yeah,
"What the-
but I
that sounds
scratched
like
the
I'm lying.
wall.
I'm
I
not
didn't
lying."
make
I
a
said,
hole in
"What
it.
are
I
you
don't
doing
have
here?"
enough
He
strength to
said,
do such a
I sent
thing.
this address. I was just like, oh, dude, I'm a streamer, bro. I got my address leaked and all this shit. And he didn't say a word back. He just started walking back to his car. He then didn't say anything back again.
I don't know
That's
none
when
of
I
these
said,
people,
"Dad, get the
man.
Appropriate reaction when a strange man's coming up your driveway, to be fair. If anyone did something wrong in the situation, it was Marty, for sending otherwise innocent people over to Bossman's place, knowing Bossman to be a highly anxious and aggressive drug addict with access to
Jesus
guns inside his
Christ.
home. Very fortunately, nothing happened, and this incident had
This
no
is not
long-lasting
good.
consequences. Besides MBM's
What you
interloping,
mention
another
is a
funny
mentally ill
occurrence from
person that has a
January is
community
that
of
after
people
enough
that
people
like watching
expressed
them
their discomfort
suffer.
with his self-deletion baiting whenever he lost money
Oh,
gambling,
this is
Austin
really
said,
sad.
hey guys, I'm doing just fine. I'm working on
I
never
wish they
saying these
would,
kinds of things again. I'm impulsive and say
Or
stupid
teach the
stuff
help
I
that
don't
they
mean all
need.
the time when I'm upset, but I promise you guys, I'm gonna try to mature and just go for a breather when I lose or whatever I gotta do to improve my behavior. I hope you guys don't believe anything I said because I just said it out of emotion at the time. Surprisingly, introspective message, but ultimately, time will tell how long he can keep himself from blowing up on stream and promising to decimate his own bloodline. Coincidentally,
I
it wasn't
don't
long
think I
after this
wanna do
message
more
was sent
streams
that our
on
boy
this. This
hopped
is
back
just
on
straight up
Kino with a
depressing.
vengeance. After almost instantly jumping up to over $1,000, he gets bold and starts betting in
People
increments
can
of
manage
160,
to make stuff like this
eventually hiking it up to
entertaining, but I'm just a
$320 and going
disappointed
past the
parent.
3,000
I
mark.
don't see. I cannot see this as content.
Immediately after this, he somehow hits
It's just
again and
sudden.
goes up past 4K, which is when he starts repeating his mantra of, I need to withdraw, all while he continues to make more bets and not withdraw a single penny. After floating a bit between 3 and 6 grand, you can see him trying to talk himself into walking away from stake and failing.
Yeah, if I get the 6 again, I'm out. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, almost! Oh
I
my
feel
gosh!
pitiful
Oh my
towards
god,
these men,
I did say I'd leave. I did say
these
I'd leave.
people.
We're
They
not
do
done yet. We're not done
require
yet.
help.
Ah, last one. I swear to God.
It's a rough type of help.
Oh,
Unfortunately, it has to be like
It was a good run. It was a good run. It was a good run.
maybe asylum or mental asylum, possibly.
Get out there.
It's almost hard to believe someone can self-induce such a degree of
order
executive
to get
function
clean.
failure. He is literally talking
But
as
it's
if he
at a
was leaving,
stage, a
while
mental
clearly
stage where
making
he
more
needs
bets
to
in real time.
get
What's
clean
worse
his
is that
body
Austin's addiction
from
is
drugs
reinforced with every lucky
and
streak.
also mental
my gosh,
addiction
last
to
one.
gambling.
No, yeah!
But the unfortunate reality of this is that even if he were to go, pardon me, I ate very fast. He were to get the help necessary and get out of it. He is already so deep in, surrounded by people, sponsorship of people who will put him back in his addiction. This man is doomed. He doomed himself on a path that is, at this point, I feel impossible to get out of it anymore. It's very depressing to see this. Like sometimes you watch someone and you're like, yeah, I want that guy to fucking burn in hell. He's doing that to himself already. You can't really wish for someone's downfall when they do it themselves. I don't feel good usually watching this type of stuff a lot of time. Thinking, yeah, he deserves it. It's quite sad. Definitely not bad. I came here for depressing, slow-react content. Not much has changed over this 40 months. Tenma has yet to give me depression. Hey! That makes me happy. Thank you always for coming back. He lives in a self-made hell, to be honest. Yeah? What can even be solved at this situation, hypothetical speaking? What kind of help can you even offer to this man to possibly make him go on the right path? Do you guys think a Bible will help him? I know this is weird, but when you're in the toughest of time, you don't even need to believe in God, but you need something to believe in. If you start reading the Bible or anything really, you're gonna start to feel so much better and have hope in something better and actually search for like cleanliness. You don't even need to believe in him, but somehow it calms you down. Maybe this is a very weird way of viewing this. Maybe he needs like a bit of holy retribution. Maybe he needs to go to like a church and give volunteering or something. I don't think he knows how to read, sadly. I mean, he knows how to read numbers. That's a start. No, the divine already tried to help him and they failed. Possibly jail then, yeah. Pardon me. Unfortunately, if this is like any other country, jail system will not work unless he does something bad to be in jail. This is the fate that I dislike the most. People who will show signs that will do the unforgivable eventually, but cannot be stopped early enough to not make it. They have to be stopped only after they do the unforgivable. And that's a bit saddening. Unfortunately, he cannot be in jail unless he does something to go in jail. Oh, it's a very weird system, I have to say. I don't know. There's been multiple assault and robbery crimes in his youth, no? At the beginning, I think we got a bit of that. Scam tens of thousands of dollars from funds. This guy is a piece of work. This guy does have mental issues, unfortunately. This is quite sad. I blame it on mental issues, but maybe he's... Drugs. Drugs might be it. Mental health feels like it's not taken seriously anywhere. Truly? And do of that there's not enough people who will help properly as well. There needs to be also some mental health specialists out there to help out properly. He assaulted his brother. Oh, Jesus Christ, is this spoiler? Is this some low spoiler I'm not in yet? Oh my goodness gracious, that's horrible. Oh, oh my god, he spoiled. Mods, he spoiled me some of that. Boss man, Lord, Jesus Christ. I shouldn't laugh. Shake my head. That's terrible. That's really terrible. I'm sorry for laughing. 10 more minutes of this and I'm taking a break.
Yeah! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Rats.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
I'm joking, no
Austin
man.
is like a Sims character with a very limited amount of possible actions. He can swear to God and on his life that he'll quit if he crosses a certain moment. He can scream like a woman in labor when a bet hits, and he can promise to take himself out when he loses. And that's about it. This run peaked when he got to 14,500.
I thought you weren't gonna watch the whole thing. Don't worry about it. I mean, we won't watch the whole thing today. It's a bit too long for my taste. Literally, when there's videos like this are like 2 hours or 4 hours, I never watch them in one
slightly
sitting.
less than half, and it finally made Austin realize it was
just
high
watched them
time
in
to
pieces.
withdraw. When he did, he only took out 6 because he wanted to leave himself 1G to evaporate in Kino. But surprisingly, his run wasn't fully over, as he eventually started working with a $350 depot and turned it into $2,800, which he then put in the stake vault, and then proceeded to take it back out of the vault and turn it into, let me see here, Got to do some critical analysis.
can't look
Got to
away.
do some
It's-
cross analysis, some calculus here. What did he turn it into?
It's a bit
oh
a lot.
yes, that
It's a lot
number.
to take in.
$0.
$0.
Oh my gosh, dude. I just lost $3,000.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know what I'm doing, apparently.
This is a roller
Oh
coaster.
my god.
Oh my
well.
god.
Oh. I'm gonna end the stream there, guys. I'll do a giveaway tomorrow later when I go live.
Still, not a total loss for the time being, unless he already gambled the
didn't
rest
see a
of the money
message.
without letting his audience see. Regardless of what the case is, whatever he didn't spend of the money he withdrew
I
to
feel
get
bad
himself
if I lose
za
50
over the next
bucks
few
when I
days,
gotcha,
you can
what the
guarantee
fuck?
it was getting magnetically relocated from Austin's wallet and into Keno, Mines, Rip City, or whatever game he's addicted to
can't
at this
stop
point.
watching this,
On the
I need
12th of
to sleep.
January, he
Luckily,
decided
you
to
have
pull
15
a
more
train
minutes and then you can
put on
finally
some
sleep.
dramatic music while he gave his audience a motivational speech in his own style, of course.
The time has come that we grab our cojones with pride. Not only do we grab our cojones with pride, we go in there risking it for the biscuit, knowing the highest reward is always behind the highest risk. This is where you risk it for the biscuit, you grab your cojones, and say, let's get this money, baby.
Yes,
Damn,
sir.
that's nice.
Ironically, this entire gravitas was set up for him to do a $500 pop at Plinko, which went like this.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, please.
What a
Please,
speech.
Lord. Oh, a 0.5. All right, we gotta go all in again.
I love how he doesn't allow the loss to set in before he decides to go all in again. Truly, the cojones are big. Too big for his own good, even, as he continued to lose until he had
Cojones.
only 30 bucks in his wallet. This was no big deal for him, though, as he still had plenty left over from his past winnings, plus his stake tugboat and whatever his audience used him. So, he started playing some other games and interacting with the audience in his unique fashion.
Oh my god.
What are these games?
I just lost so much money, bro. I don't need to stop shit, bro. All my biggest cash outs were on originals. What you need to stop doing is telling me how to gamble, bro. It's not your money anyways, boss. You've never donated to me once in your life, so shut the
Oh my god. Technically, it kinda is. Oh my god. Would you ever do Wendigo Cripcast watch-alongs? I like watching videos like that, but usually during those I'm very quiet. They don't really elicit a reaction out of me. I feel like it would be a boring watch from me.
Oh my
I
god.
do love Mr. Wendigo.
I just lost it all. I'm gonna ban Beanie because he's gonna be say I told you so. Wow, dude.
But I'm very, very
If I was
quiet.
down today, still in a car. Oh, dude, I'm doing just fine, Amber. I'm doing just fine. I'm not even gonna read that message because that's way too negative for my taste.
At one point, his altered state almost got the based man out of him, but he managed to self-edit before it could.
I woke up to sounding like me.
Whatever substance sequence he's got going on during this
Marijuana.
period seems to be making him less aggressive, but ultimately more aloof, as sometimes he won't even immediately notice that he won.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Wonky!
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Times two.
2K!
All in all, despite how out of it he was during this stream, he did have a pretty good run for about an hour. The same cannot be said for what happened after he crossed the hour mark, though, as he turned what he took an hour to accumulate into nothing in 13 minutes. As the rats in his chat started to mock him, he decided to take one of them on in a fight. Not in real life, but in RuneScape. Just like that, he fired up his old OSRS client and got ready to tango with one lost man crack. And this is how it turned out.
There's no way. There's no way, dude. This guy's cheating, bro. There's no way, bro. No, how am I doing that much worse when I'm barely... Nah, dude. Guy's cheating, bro. Guy's cheating, bro. Oh, no, man.
Oh, that's
It's been a while since we
entertaining.
heard Austin complain about Jagex, so this was kind of a blast from the past. And after this loss to Lost Man, he proceeds to do penny bets in a feature that barely constitutes a game, only to wipe himself squeaky clean and quit the stream in
What a
frustration.
way.
When he came back,
What
he
a
tried his
way.
luck on slots with some more juice, and you can say he did pretty okay based on his reaction.
Oh my gosh! 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 Oh my gosh!
Me fighting my haters.
Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh, dude!
in a fighting game only to find out
He made $1,300
they're
bucks
fucking
off this win, and
professionals
then went to Plinko.
whooping
The
my
game where the
ass.
ball slowly falls through a pyramid of dots, and for every dot it hits, it either goes left or right, eventually landing on a multiplier that decides what your money will become. In an extremely unfortunate turn of events, Austin stopped streaming and continued to gamble when his Discord was suddenly met with this screenshot showing he'd hit a 130x with a $100 bill, getting him up to a monumental $17,000. Just a couple of minutes later, he once again updated his community as he had climbed up to 24K.
24K.
After that, he went silent for nearly an hour, only to come back to his chat saying, "I don't want to talk about it.
Oh
I'm
my
actually totally fine. I have no idea why. It barely fazed me." Although it took a little nudging, he eventually made it clear that he got up to 27,000 and then lost all of it while desperately trying to get up to 50,000. After he finished cleaning himself out and begging for a couple juicers, he started streaming again, and soon after got felted in an extraordinarily unfair way by Plinko.
This man actually does not think anymore. You get to like 20K stuff money, you lose it all, and you have the audacity to beg for more money? This is insane. No shame. No shame. You have no shame. This is horrendous.
X we take.
Whoa,
4X.
no
What?
shame.
You see that landing in the 4X and counting out at 0.02? Did you see that? Whatever.
I get that he downplayed his reaction to it because he doesn't want to lose his deal with Stake, but it's hard to believe that someone's wallet can be outright destroyed like this and still put up with it due to how addicted they are to the game. Probably because the news of Austin's massive winnings and subsequent losses made rounds, KF owner Josh Moon joined the Boss Man's chat. For context, he'd already had a few minor interactions with Boss Man.
I know this
that weren't as
attention
notable,
whore.
but this one in particular resulted in a pretty funny moment.
He keeps wanting to join the fighting game competition we organize.
And a nice pair of breasts. When I go over to Josh's house and I grab his mom's breasts, I instantly get a boner. I mean, it's just one of those things I do.
After getting juiced back up a bit, he got back on Plinko and got another heater.
Come on, baby. 2 more. Oh, 2 times. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Don't tease, don't tease, don't tease, don't tease, don't tease! Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
3.9K!
He got to 3K, but honestly at this point, 3K is like nothing to a gambling mogul like the Boss Man. He proceeded to get up to 5 grand, moved back down to 500, and it looked like it would be an uneventful evening from that point forward. However, the heater was about to ramp up at a very fast rate.
That one on the right! Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! No way! Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, dude! No way! Oh my gosh, dude!
31K!
Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh, dude!
Put it back in.
What happened here is about as rare as you can get with gambling. He hit the absolute max multiplier and 1000x'd his money. He literally could not have been luckier with that hit. What's even funnier is that at this moment, he's making a racket and yelling out for his dad there. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Imagine being his dad and being rudely awakened.
Kampainik is using me as background noise when they go to sleep, only to find me yelling.
In the middle of your peaceful slumber because your jittery crack son has just quote-unquote made 30 grand. Regardless, the 30K win inspired all of Austin's chat to come up with ideas as to where the money should go. Buying a new door, buying a Mustang, getting a new place, getting a new GPU, having a big party, so on and so forth. This was a pretty extraordinary win, not just because he climbed up so high, but also because he apparently moved a whopping 27 grand of it into his crypto wallet. Usually, he only remembers to move any money out of the Stake grinder when he's already lost over half of it. Unsurprisingly, the few grand he left in his Stake account quickly turned to zero after just a couple of dice and blackjack games. And sadly, KF users were tracking how much money he was taking out of his crypto wallet and depositing back into Stake, and the 27 grand almost instantly turned into 17. While he was pissing away his heater, someone tried to swat him, which was captured on stream.
Hey man, I'm a streamer. I'm a streamer. I'm coming downstairs.
This is probably the third or fourth time someone tried to pull this kind of stunt. And once again, Austin is completely unfazed, as he was too busy thinking about how to speedrun his bankruptcy. As soon as he got back to streaming, he continued to spiral downward on dices. Along his freefall speed plummet to $0, at one point he managed to turn a $500 depot into another $12,000, which would at least land him a good bit closer to his original.
I have a question. Does gambling, like earning funds and giving it away, is that contributed to tax? When you take out like money, do you still pay taxes? I don't know how it works. Oh yeah, you get taxed. How much? This man is close to like 4 million or something. How much out of that does he get taxed?
27 grand win. But before anyone could start feeling some hope, 3 minutes later, it all went into the ground. $31,000 gone with the wind in under 24 hours. After a long-standing peace treaty with his bedroom, the day of wrath came upon them, although it only did so off camera. There was another close call, but once again, it was a near miss.
Man, I really will. I am gonna break my computer, dude.
Austin had become a little more self-aware about what made the rats happy, so not only did he stop the stream completely before going haywire, he also deleted the VOD of him getting up to 31,000. I assume to prevent the news from spreading far and wide about how much he ultimately lost. What tipped the chat off that he did commit some act of aggression after the stream was done after the fact that all of the text messages he sent after being felted conspicuously lacked spaces between the words, almost as if he slammed something onto his space bar that made it stop working. When he did come back, the rat stock went way up, and Austin had to face the consequences the only way he knew how.
Yeah, look at that. Whatever makes you feel better, bro. You're self-reflecting to the fullest when I've done nothing wrong to you. Whoever doing this behind their
rat stonks.
Behind their double chin, looking at they're taking a shower. The guy who's doing these hug and hosts, he sits there in the shower. He's like, "Man, I wish I could see my own penis."
Fortunately, the day of the rat was quite brief, as almost immediately after they perked their nasty heads out of the gutter from whence they came, their true nature was exposed. On the farms, the Discord server in which the rats concocted their evil plans of world domination was found, and Music Biz Marty was, unsurprisingly, a member of it. Along with Marty, there were 3 anime gooners who apparently had been flooding Austin's DMs with not safe for work images and gore. Lastly, there was one rat by the name of Hebrew who sent a plumber and a taxi to Austin's house, and upon further inspection, it turned out that Hebrew had been previously arrested for felony possession, burglary in the first degree, and was caught on camera physically assaulting 2 women. It seems to be...
Alright. Jesus Christ. I was like, damn, you guys are jokesters. It's no longer a joke at this point, goddamn. That's just... Wow. Jesus fucking Christ. When you try to prove a point, only to turn out to be worse than this guy... Nah, that you need some self-reflection at this point. That's insane. Oh my goodness gracious. That's insane. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how this can get worse. We are halfway through the video. We're not even halfway. We have 3 hours left. I can't usually watch these VODs like in one sitting. My attention span goes away. But also I feel mentally depressed. I wanna eat my donut outside, sniffing the fresh air in peace. Cause this is a lot. This is a lot to handle, goddamn. We can maybe finish it next time when we're feeling better. Like try to digest an hour of content a day. I'm so scared. How bad can it be?